I have with me David Pakman. He is a progressive host and executive producer of the nationally syndicated radio and TV program, The David Pakman Show. And I wanted to talk to David Pakman. He is a beta male. David Pakman. He is a beta male. The beta male. David Pakman. He is a beta male. David Pakman. He is a beta male. The beta male.
Can you remind the audience, when you talk about being a beta male and being an alpha male, what are we talking about here?
There are males, most men today.
Yeah.
Male, they think and act like a woman. They're emotional. They are mentally off. They have no logic. And that's a beta male. They go along with homosexuality.
Hold on, whoa, Jesse, we got it. That's a lot.
LGBTQ.
That's a lot.
They
Hold on.
agree with everything that's raw. Abortion, they think and act just like a woman. A beta male does. But a non-beta male doesn't, because he's a logical thinking. And they're controlled by the darkness of David Pakman. He is a beta male. David Pakman. He is a beta male. The beta male. David Pakman. He is a beta male. David Pakman. He is a beta male. The beta male. David Pakman. He is a beta male. David Pakman. He is a beta male. The beta male. David Pakman. He is a beta male. David Pakman. He is a beta male. The beta male. David, you're not here to communicate. I really appreciate you coming on. I'm going to let you go. It's a waste of time to talk to you. We're not communicating. You're acting like an idiot.
No, because you're asking bizarre questions.
You're
and not
acting like an
any.
idiot, and you're wasting my time. I appreciate you coming. All right, thank you for coming. Goodbye. Goodbye. Let him go. That's a progressive vote. All men who are progressive, or males who are progressive, are weak people. They are weak people, and why have these people on? It doesn't even make sense. They don't.
Moment of the sexual experience will ask the young lady, "Who's your daddy?"
This should be remixed. If Officer Akimov is watching, this could be the next remix masterpiece. Because just wait till you see what happens here. Oh, Officer Akimov is here. That's beautiful.
Who's your daddy? Who's your daddy? Who's your daddy?
I'm joined today by Pastor James David Manning.
Who's your daddy? Who's your daddy? No, I'm a Christian. Who's your daddy? Who's your daddy? Who's your daddy?
I'm joined today by Pastor James David Manning.
Who's your daddy? Who's your daddy? A long-legged Mac Daddy is the most successful pimp on planet Earth. To reverence the Word of God, to trust it, to preach it, to teach it, loads and loads of money and tons of lies. Loads and loads of money and tons of lies.
What happened in prison that brought you to Jesus? What happened in prison that brought you to Jesus?
George Bush Sr. and George Bush Jr. have been penetrated by at least 100 men in their anus area. 100,000, 200,000 strong. I didn't do it. That's not my problem. So I got down on my knees. I didn't do it, but I was tempted.
Sounds like quite an evening.
Loads and loads of money and tons of lies. Loads and loads of money and tons of lies. Loads and loads of money and tons of lies. Loads and loads of money and tons of lies. Let me say something to you about marketing. Starbucks has done the exact same thing that Coca-Cola has done, except they've done it with semen.
That certainly seems to be a story that has been missed.
Gays tend to love each other's semen.
How do you know that it flavors the coffee?
Gays tend to love each other's semen. Gays tend to love each other's semen.
How do you know that it flavors the coffee?
Gays tend to love each other's semen.
All right, welcome everybody. That reliving that viral moment from the Pastor James David Manning Jr. maybe interview from quite some time ago. So welcome to everybody. We do have another Trump rally on our hands today. Right Side Broadcasting is carrying it via Facebook because they've been banned from YouTube. We're also monitoring a Newsmax feed where, it looks like Pastor Ted Nugent Jr. is currently speaking. The big news, of course, that Donald Trump told Sean Hannity the other day, he has decided about whether he will or won't run in 2024. There is speculation that Trump may tell us what his decision is today. I actually have that. Let's take a look and see. No, this is cognitive test material. Where did I have? Here it is. Let's take a look at this. And I think I have most elements working here. Let's see if we can listen. And I've got my volume knob and okay, let's see.
We don't have a lot of time, but let's talk about your future plans.
Did you hear that? What was that noise? It sounded like a bird in the background. Did you guys hear that?
We don't have a lot of time, but let's talk about your future plans.
Oh, I guess someone was sad that there's not a lot of time left or something.
Now, I have a funny... Let me ask the crowd of everybody here, would you like to see the president run again in 2024?
The president, by the way.
You're not going to answer, but I have to ask. Where are you in the process of, let me ask you this, without giving the answer what the answer is, have you made up your mind? Yes.
Now, why people are cheering if we don't know what the answer is, I don't know, but these people will cheer for anything.
I think you got it right. Yeah.
Okay. So Trump has made up his mind. Let's close that out. And he may reveal today at the rally what that decision is, and we will be hearing about that shortly. Okay, let's see. I'm going to try to do the best I can with super chats, and we have them on screen here. Let me see. What's the right way to do this? I'm just tweaking things on the fly. We'll give a little bit more padding at the bottom. I don't know that we need this, but maybe we'll just make it a little bit bigger. There we go. Okay, let me actually look at a few super chats because so many are coming in. Denver McCarthy says, David, I'm sorry I drunk dialed your voicemail. We might get to some voicemails. Jimmy from Philly here, mixing it up, says, your future president. I don't know who you mean. Zachary says, some alarmists are saying the worst is yet to come, while the CDC and others are saying LA County's mask mandate is theater and overcautious. What are your thoughts? I will have a full assessment of that on Tuesday. What is this big dangerous buffoon going to mind vomit out of his mouth today? Maybe that he's running in 24. We're standing by for that. Without saying what the answer is, have you decided if there will be any live streams next week? Beautiful. I have made a decision about next week's live streams. I am not announcing it, but I have made it. And Ben Shapeward says, Donald Trump will be delivering an unhinged rant from I shouldn't have blocked the super chats with my mic. That's bad planning. Hold on. Trump will be delivering an unhinged rant from the Macho Man Randy Savage's hometown of Sarasota, Florida. It'll be the cream of the crap, baby. So step into a Slim Jim Oh, yeah, massive dumps. Okay. And Miter says, you're my kind of nerd. Mashup was sick. Best 4th of July and F Trump. Okay, good. All right. So super chats are working and we've got them coming in. Let's just listen to a few seconds of what's happening at the rally. Oh, and so by the way, last rally, there was not a black or Latino person in sight. And so at this rally, they've strategically placed blacks for Trump right over Trump's left shoulder, and looks like an Asian guy and 2 racially ambiguous women. I guess could be, I don't even know. Anyway, you guys get the point of what's going on here. Let's listen.
And absentee verification. You know why? Because when states like Florida have voter ID and
okay, so just doing the typical stuff, and then here is a pre-rally thing happening with Newsmax as well. So we're monitoring all of it. Okay, monitoring all of it. It's sort of sad, but a few people already got banned today, even before we started the stream, which is crazy. When people get banned before we even start, it's not a great sign. It's not a great sign, but it did happen. People are saying also that my audio is out of sync with my video. That actually could be. If you guys can help me test it, I'm going to clap, okay? And what we need to I haven't made that adjustment yet, which I do need to do. When I clap, tell me whether you're seeing my hands come together. Oh, it's fine, actually. Oh, okay. Then I won't even adjust it. That's great. Okay. Then I won't even touch it. Forget about it. Okay, good. All right. Other super chats. No, super chats are good. I won't do any changes. Perfect. Okay, good. I do want to say thank you to the Freak as well as Libra Girl and M Frazzled for signing up via Twitch. Very much appreciate that. We actually have 2 different coupon codes today. We're celebrating 2 different, when that's really celebrating. If you're most titillated by this sad Trump rally, you can sign up on my website with the coupon code SADTRUMP. Okay, that's one option. If you're more titillated by the indictment on 15 felony counts of Trump's CFO, you can sign up on my website with the code indictment21. It's your choice. You can do either. Everybody will get a big thank you from me. And in fact, let me just make sure that I want to make sure I've added extra internet tubes to the website today, because when I don't, sometimes people trying to sign up will crash the site, and we definitely don't want that today. Okay, we've amped everything up, so it should be pretty good. Excellent. We may run out of coupon codes. That's actually true. Yeah, that may happen. Okay, let me get to a few other things that I had for you while we stand by. These are just various videos of people early today lining up for the Trump rally. This was 9 a.m., so almost 12 hours ago, you had people already lined up. Can you imagine?
11 hours before he gets here.
No. Not something I would be bragging about. Here's a line of Trump supporters. It's hard for me to imagine a worse place to be. Yeah. Let's see what other videos there are. Video of the Confederate flag display outside of the Trump rally today. Oh, yeah. Okay. So we've got what? 1, 2, 3, 4 Confederate flags, 3 thin blue line flags.
Oh, look. Right there.
Okay. That's a historic flag, by the way. That's the meaning of it. It's all about history. Oh, and Matt Gaetz spoke earlier. Let's look at a little bit of that.
Let's welcome Congressman Matt Gaetz.
Volume's a tad low on that. Actually, maybe his voice will be louder. I thought Trump was trying to distance from Gaetz, actually. I'm actually surprised he was here.
I'm not going to lie, after the last few months, I needed that. Thank you, Florida.
Okay.
I'm a canceled man in some corners of the internet, a marked man in Congress, maybe a wanted man by the deep state, but in the core of my
The deep state? What?
bones, I'm a Florida man, and it's good to be home. They come for the fighters, don't they? And so I have a message for all who need to hear it. For the country I love, for the president who inspires me, and for the people who send me to fight in Congress, I have not yet begun to fight.
Well, you've not been charged yet, right? I mean, I guess that's part of it. Okay, so there's that. Very strange stuff. I want to say thank you to SN Corbett for signing up via Twitch Prime. I appreciate that. I'm also kicking us off today with the coupon code SADTRUMP. Caitlin Yurkowski just signed up on my website with the coupon code SADTRUMP. You've got to love it. You've got to love it. Okay, do people want to hear a few voicemails first, or do we want... Actually, let's look at a couple more clips first. After the indictment of Trump's CFO, Eric Trump went on TV and just said all sorts of things that make no sense. Let's listen to it a little bit.
Yeah. Well, these are employment perks. These are a corporate car, which everybody has. I guarantee you there's people on this network that have corporate cars. I guarantee you there's people in every company in the country that have corporate vehicles.
Who doesn't have a corporate vehicle, guys?
This is what they're going after. This isn't a criminal matter. This is, it's really interesting, Raymond.
Now, it's actually... So, of course, what he's saying is not true in the sense that it's dramatically... Oh, hold on. Do I need a little more brightness? I can do that. Hold on. I'm dealing with a sort of complex lighting situation. Let's do a little bit more. Do I need more gamma? No, gamma doesn't seem to be helping. Maybe just a hair more contrast. Okay, there we go. Even if you're like the cost, if you have a corporate lease, the value of the lease needs to be added to your income, and you're supposed to pay taxes on it. Like, even if that's all that this was, doing that for 15 years is already a problem. Of course, that's not what it is. He's just lying.
The financial crisis, right? They didn't go after a single person on Wall Street, despite the fact that these people were they took down the U.S. economy, but they'll go after somebody after fringe employment benefits. Is that really what the DA is focused on, is little girls are getting shot in the middle of Times Square? They'll go after a corporate vehicle and a corporate apartment? Give me a break. And honestly, I have to say, the media's actually been very fair about this. The New York Times, so many of the different news outlets, they've literally said this isn't criminal. This isn't worth 40, 50 investigators in a district.
All right, so there's Eric Trump's opinion about whether their own CFO should be indicted. I think this is a different clip. Let's see. I think this is something else.
Concerned that they may send an indictment your way, your brother's way, or your sister's way.
You know what? I'm not, Eric, because guess what? We've always lived amazingly clean lives. And believe me, if they could have, they already would have, right? I mean, that's what they wanted. That was their end goal. The difference is I'm not Hunter Biden. I'm not selling paintings to undisclosed people for $500,000 a piece. I'm not doing, drugs in shady hotels. I'm not.
He does, right. Doing them at non-shady hotels would be fine.
I'm not going out and soliciting prostitution, and I'm not going out and, selling influence to Ukraine and China and having lavish trips paid for while, my father's commander-in-chief. No, I'm not doing that. You know what we do? Don, Ivanka, and I live really, nice, clean lives, and we work very, very hard. And guess what? Long before politics ever came into, our lives, we were in the business world, and we were successful, and we worked very hard, and we lived clean lives. And it was very different than the Bidens, who were never in business until their father actually got into politics, and they've milked it for everything it's worth, and they still do it to this day. And, you know, Eric, where's the DA there? You know, when you have text messages of
He sounds unhinged, like he's not making any sense.
Prostitutes and hard drugs and money laundering and all these other things that are on Hunter Biden's laptop that have been reported, you know, apparently.
By the way, is this Eric Bolling? He looks completely irrecognizable to me. It's bizarre.
Reported so many different times. Where's the district attorney and where is the attorney general? And
looks like Jack Nicholson in 1989 Batman or 91 Batman.
Scales of justice only go one.
Okay. All right. So that's that. And then, oh yeah, this is funny. This is Trump during that interview. Let's just make sure we're not missing anything. We're not. During that interview last week with Sean Hannity, during which Trump said he had announced, he had decided whether he's running. Trump going back to the cognitive test.
In trouble with these comments.
We aced it. I can say that I aced it.
Did he get one? He didn't get one question wrong, did he? 30 out of 30. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, this crowd really will applaud for anything.
And they did get a little more difficult after you got by 15, I would say. But
I heard the first three questions are, is it a giraffe or an elephant, right?
Well, you know, that's what the fake news does. They take the first 2 or 3 questions and they put them in. But let me tell you, they would not get those last 15 right. Certainly not the last 10, that I can tell you. But anyway, but
yeah. I mean, if you only got 15 out of 30 on that test, you're probably suffering from pretty significant dementia. So the idea that he says nobody around him, nobody would, what are you talking about, dude? Just bizarre. We've gotten to the Mike Pillow portion of the pre-Trump rally. We're monitoring Right Side Broadcasting Network. This is happening at the rally. Let's see.
And again, when we get the House back in 18 months, we'll fire Pelosi, and then it's on to 2024.
What do you think about Nancy Pelosi and this so-called
Are they saying Pelosi?
Gate January 6th?
Well, it's pure politics, pure partisanship. It's another witch hunt. I'm focused on how do we move the country forward and get back to an America First agenda.
Right. And how do you feel about...
And that's a completely reasonable jacket to be saying that during, while you're wearing. Yeah. Okay, good. Let me, hold on a second. I'm apologizing. I'm not thanking everybody who's supporting the stream. Arrivals, One Plays, and K Shreds have both just subscribed via Twitch Prime. I really appreciate that. Also want to say a big thank you to Jean-Francois Roy, who just signed up with the coupon code SADTRUMP, and Stephanie Gilstrap just signing up on my website with the coupon code SADTRUMP. Because these rallies are so sad, they're basically pity parties for the guy who lost and lost badly. We have launched an honorary coupon code, SADTRUMP, all one word, all lowercase. It's on my website while supplies last. We may run out of these codes. The way things are going, we may run out of them very soon. And you can sign up at joinpacman.com. I will thank you. I will sing your praises. I will probably even be too effusive in my praise, but that's okay. All right, let's get to some super chats. If you have a question, a comment for me, let's get to it. Bridget says, think hard, but don't think long. Pim Tool says, David, in principle, I agree, but contextually, your utilitarian framework allows a reductive cancel culture to emerge. Critical identitarianism. Yeah, well said. Well said, Pim. Please put on closed captioning. Okay. I don't know how good it will be. And I don't know if they have it. Let's see. Auto-generated captions on. I guess no one's speaking right now. Is that what's going on?
Name you want, and it's just really cool to have.
I guess they are. I don't know. All right. Well, I don't know. We're monitoring everything. Let's see. Michael says, David, one of the black supporters was in a cult led by Yahweh Ben Yahweh, Maurice Woodside. That sounds bonkers. David Domini Fowler says, I think you should move your audio by about 80 milliseconds. It's fine to the untrained eye. Do I want to do plus 80 or minus 80? Let me know. Jeffrey says, my God, those Trumpists will never get those 11 hours back. Kane Felda says, how much do you think the guy in uniform is going to get into? How much trouble? Standing right behind the speaker. Let's see. Oh, I missed it. I'm sorry. We'll get back to him, I'm sure. What else do we have? Andreas says, according to Stormy, Don is always early. Wow. Hey, David, whatever happened to the singing duo Camille and Haley? I have no idea. They did the Vote Trump 2020 song. Yeah, I have no idea. They may be dead. I've noticed more of my neighbors in the suburbs of Milwaukee raise up "Don't Tread on Me" flags as their Trump signs disappeared. Yeah, I've also seen Trump 2020 signs replaced with Trump 2024 signs. Maddie says the least believable part of the interview is that Eric Trump has never paid for sex. Well said. Trump is only relevant because media legitimizes him. Stop giving him attention. That's how you deal with a narcissist. Yeah, listen, I think if he runs in 2024, he has a really good shot of winning, and the entire Republican Party is essentially behind him. So I think to ignore him is silly. I think it's to ignore half of what's empirically happening in the country right now. I can't do that in good faith. Phil says, what do you make of the whole trans sports debate? You know, I've talked about that a bunch of times before. I don't really want to get into it kind of in a vacuum right now. I've got a bunch of clips on that. And James asks, David, have you seen the New York Times 1-6 video? I think we looked at it on a stream previously. But we may look at that again. All right. Thank you very much. Also want to say thank you to Taylor Barry. Taylor Barry signing up on my website with the coupon code indictment21 in honor of Trump's CFO being indicted on 15 felony counts, which is wild. Also, thanks to Ms. V, Taco Weasel, and Milan Jozic. There is a hype train, a lot of hype happening on Twitch right now. A beautiful time to re-up. Let's get to some voicemails, okay? Because we've been on break, I have 200 voicemails I've not listened to. I'm going to go through them one by one just so people don't think I'm cherry picking the voicemails. I'm just scrolling back a ways here. All right, let's just start listening to some of these here. Here we go.
Hey, I had a quick question. I was wondering, with the recent developments of Rudy Giuliani getting his license suspended by the
Okay. Then they called back.
Please ignore my previous message. Words are hard. I didn't have this written down. But anyways, here is my question. With the recent development of Rudy Giuliani's law license suspended from New York courts, I wanted to hear your take on a question that I have. Why did it take them this long to make this decision?
Because the investigation was everything was being obstructed, and I think that they felt until they could really do a full analysis, they just were not going to. I guess. I mean, it doesn't really make a lot of sense to me, but I don't know. All right, here's another voicemail.
Hi, David. This is the Virgin Mary. Okay, I know you probably think I'm a crazy person. I know you were Ringo Starr, and you've got cleaving soul, and there's many people who have had that, I have pictures and examples. I know Roger Waters is a man named Scott Ritzema.
All right, let's listen to Kimberly Guilfoyle. I don't know who's crazier, the caller or Kimberly.
He's doing exactly what we need to do. We need all of our leaders to be standing up and be start reminding the American people why this is the greatest nation that has ever existed. It is certainly the reason why I'm running for Senate here.
They're not carrying her audio. Maybe they're running it here.
Please take a moment to pray for them, for their families, for the loved ones, for those waiting for answers tonight. We stand with them, united in God and in prayer. Amen.
Oh my God. It's already crazy.
Thank you. Well, Florida, who is excited to see the 45th President of the United States?
I'll turn it down now.
You can never get enough Trump. You know what I mean? Just ask the media. But we do love this state, and we are all proud to call it our home. We have relocated here with our children, with our families, because you know what? Florida is Trump country.
What did he win by, 0.25% or something?
This state, not because of the low taxes, it's pretty good though, right? But President Trump did that for the country as well. And not because of the weather, LOL. It's a little bit rough today, but look at you guys. You're shiny and bright and new. I love it. And not just because of the great educational options here, like they kept their schools open, right?
Yeah.
And not just because how freedom and liberty are protected. We love Florida because of all of you. Thank you, Florida. Thank you for always being there for President Trump and for this country.
It was pretty sad.
But please don't tell Texas. We don't want them to get their feelings hurt a little bit, right?
Very slurry, yeah.
But I am quite frankly certain that there is not a better place to celebrate 4th of July and America than the state of Florida.
She's starting to amplify.
And that is because Florida knows what makes America great.
Okay.
But it's not all sunshine and rainbows. Here's the bummer part. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Somehow, Joe Biden is in the White House.
Very strange hair I'm noticing.
And old Joe is leading from behind with Kamala trying to push him down the stairs. And Joe's busy falling up the stairs.
Oh man, people are being banned left and right here. Wow.
But I tell you, it just makes us miss President Trump even more. Well, with Joe Biden bumbling through his presidency, we have President Trump working harder and smarter every single day for the America First policies that
Biden's bumbling through his presidency with higher approval than Trump had on even one day, a successful vaccination program, and record stock market numbers.
He's just getting started. These people keep trying to write the MAGA obituary.
MAGA.
Well, we just keep writing American history with President Trump.
What is she talking about?
They want America to believe that the conservative movement is fractured, is divided. They want America to believe that this movement is dead. Well, we got a full gas at
Why does anybody know why she's speaking so slowly?
Florida. Deal with it, liberals. Deal with it, Democrats. We are going to take back the House and rip the gavel from Nancy Pelosi's hands. We are going to crush it in the Senate. And we will take back the White House. Oh, you know they're silent screaming inside. Say, why won't those people just go away? I don't think so. It's pink slips to those liberals, to the Democrats, and for those that would try to step on the dreams of hard, freedom-working and loving Americans. The hard-working Americans that the rest of the country and the politicians left behind. But one man stood for each and every one of you and your family. President Trump, the most incredible president this country has ever seen.
This is really humiliating. Yeah, this guy in the military uniform, huh?
And it is a sea of patriots here today and the millions across this country who are not going to be silenced And we definitely are not going to cede this fight to the socialists, to the communists, and to the liberals that want to destroy.
It certainly won't be ceded to the communists or socialists, since there's essentially none in any position of power.
Line with us. The fight for liberty, the fight for our conservative values, and the fight for the heart and the soul of this nation will not be abandoned. President Trump will not let that happen, and either will you.
All right.
We can never give up on America. Don't do it. She's worth it. Each and every one of you are worth it, and your family and your children. We are going to continue to fight because we have someone that loves this family of Americans and will continue to fight for this country. Thank you for your service and dedication, President Trump. We will always stand with you. I have great news because the Republican Party is being reborn under the leadership of President Trump.
It's born again in a sense. It's going to be baptized.
It is being reborn as the party of the working class.
This is happening on Newsmax.
The party of America First. The party of President Trump and this big, beautiful movement that he created.
Oh my God, do you guys see this guy's beard right here?
I want to say goodbye to the
radical.
weak-kneed, spineless, and the coward politicians that have failed this country.
People wondering who this is Don Jr.'s girlfriend.
Thanks to President Trump, we have great leaders, great fighters like the governor of the great state of Florida, Ron DeSantis.
Oof. Yikes.
President Trump created a unified movement that is here to stay and is growing brighter and stronger every single day. We will chart a new path in American political history, a path driven by bold.
I'm fascinated. The people, I'm trying to figure out who seems to be most out of their minds of the people standing behind her. It's tough.
A path where we don't bend the knee to the demands of the leftist mob. And a path where we are willing to stand up and fight for what we hold dear with the help of God. From California to New York,
This guy's the top
fight
competitor,
to take
yeah.
back this country.
Yeah, people in the chat saying DeSantis is really a threat. He is. I've said before, DeSantis is someone with all the bad instincts of Trump and less incompetence. He is a dangerous guy. And yes, we are doing mercy bans today. If anybody wants to be banned for mercy, just ask. The moderators can do it.
Washington, D.C., because we need fighters like President Trump in this country. We need warriors like President Trump in this country. And with your help and with President Trump, we will save America. Our movement must stay true to
Guys,
America.
I got to tell you, I'm not saying I don't know what, I have no further meaning to this. The 3 Blacks for Trump guys don't seem very into this. And they almost seem to be looking for the exits. It's just a little strange. I don't know.
Our nation is based on putting the American worker and the American family first. Finally, we must and we will take our movement and our message to every corner of our nation. America first means all of America. Our ideas, our conservative values, and the solutions we champion are the key to lifting all Americans up. President Trump did that for this country. With the help of God, he will continue to do it every single day.
Yeah.
As a movement, our message must transcend party lines, socioeconomic lines, and cultural lines. Ya tu sabe.
Oh
One
my
nation
God.
under God.
Ya tu sabe? Oh, dear God. I'm not even sure that's legal.
I promise you, winning elections, all of them,
That's giga yikes.
happen because under
You guys know I'm a native Spanish speaker. I thought she was maybe speaking some kind of like Aboriginal type language. Then I realized she's speaking Spanish.
Florida, God bless Governor DeSantis and his wife, our beautiful First Lady. God bless President Trump, First Lady Melania Trump, and the whole family, our military.
Did you say farts lady?
Our police officers and first responders, we stand with you. And most importantly, stand and love this country and this flag and what she stands for. God bless America, and please welcome the son of the former president of the United States, Donald Trump Jr.
All right, so here comes Don Jr. I do want to, this is so traumatic in a lot of ways. I do want to make sure everybody who's here and supporting gets a thank you. Thanks to Splash Muck, Blake Eat Steaky, Sir Rock, as well as Hey Michael. All four of you signing up via Twitch Prime, putting us at 17. Because this is so sad, right? If you want to do anything to support our, oh God, if you want to support our work, grab a membership on my website, joinpacman.com. Today, you can use the coupon code SADTRUMP to get a huge discount. It's legal in most states. Leslie Young just did that and is new member number 18 today. Leslie, thank you so much. And I invite you to go to joinpacman.com. I will thank absolutely everybody. And let's now continue with Don Jr. After he's done, then I will thank more people. I'm going to put some super chats up on the screen now. Keep those coming. Let's listen.
Than that. And since it's America's birthday, happy birthday, America! Oh man, it's so nice to be here in Florida. When you say that stuff in New York, they say, what? I don't understand. What's going on here? But guys, we've had about 6 months of Joe Biden. I know. I told you so.
Record vaccination, record low cases, record low deaths. Record stock market. It's really bad, guys.
We'll save a cumulative 16 cents.
Oh, here we go.
On your barbecue. Right? 16 cents for your whole family. That's great. As long as you don't have to drive to the end of your driveway, in which case the extra $1 per gallon of fuel will eat up that 16 cents, right? You go about 7 yards and it's over, okay?
Hey guys, what is he talking about? What on earth is he talking about?
For the picnic table, it's over. If you have a brain and you've used your wallet in the last couple of weeks, you know that it's nonsense. But it won't stop them from pandering because that's all they're capable of doing, right?
China.
This, sort of hard to believe, right? What I want to know, media, where are all the Russia folks? Right? Joe's giving Vladimir Putin pipelines. Joe's canceling aid packages to the Ukraine.
Wrong.
And if I was correct, guys, I was told that is an impeachable offense to even discuss it, right?
It's all fake news. It's phony stuff. It didn't happen.
You can't have that conversation, let alone do it, but they're okay. And even worse, the media. When Vladimir Putin said, no, Joe Biden sounds really sharp. He's really with it.
Wrong.
Really? The media points to Vladimir Putin saying, no, see? Of course Vladimir Putin's going to say that he's dealing with a moron. He's getting everything that he wants.
Wrong.
He's eating our lunch.
I genuinely don't know what he's talking about. He's been doing this a lot lately in interviews where it's like, what is even the general topic of what's happening right now?
Shut up, little boy. Go sit in your corner, Joe. We've already discussed that. Now, we already introduced the president of South Africa about 7 seconds ago, but you can't remember that far back.
Okay.
We feel bad for Joe, right? I mean, I do. If I couldn't remember 7 seconds ago, it's a problem. It's a bigger problem that he's in charge of the nuclear football.
George. Thanks to Kanikia as well as Sticky Green Dragon, Montessori Madiwan, and 6LJ for supporting the stream via Twitch. We're standing by for Donald Trump Sr. Blacks for Trump have been strategically placed on stage, as well as you might have noticed they moved the gentleman in the military uniform as well to put him in a prime position. So they're really strategically setting all of this up. We are celebrating the sadness of this event with an exclusive coupon code, SAD Trump. You can support the stream right now on my website, joinpacman.com. You will get a thank you. Katie Thrun just signed up with the code SAD Trump. Sam Seeley just signed up with the code SAD Trump. And so we press on to 100. What will happen first? Trump will say something xenophobic.
It comes from China.
Or we will get to 100. It's a race. It's not clear which will happen first.
Mueller hoax, Ukraine hoax, Don Jr. We're on like version 15 of Russia right now. Just this week. It's never going to stop because that's what the Democrats do. Right? All the things that were conspiracies. Right? You know the difference between a conspiracy and the truth these days? About 6 months. Right?
Okay.
Please fact check that one, CNN. Please, I'm begging you. Right? Well, Trump was right? He was right about Wuhan lab. No, but seriously, at what point... True story. Hey, I mean,
China.
There's like 30,000 people here. We had 45,000 reservations. I assume.
Wait a second. He's not really claiming there's 30,000 people at that rally, is he? Are they doing this again?
But Joe Biden definitely got 81 billion legitimate votes.
81 billion.
Sepha Hyde.
No, guys.
Oh, it's too much.
It was the most secure election in history.
He seems to be having a medical event.
Just this week, in a New York mayoral Democrat primary, they screwed up 135,000 votes in New York City alone. But it was definitely did not happen anywhere else. An election that could have been changed by less than 45,000 votes, it definitely didn't happen. It's the most secure ever. And if you believe that, I have some oceanfront property in Colorado for you.
Okay.
I wrote a book about liberal privilege.
Yeah.
All of those things have unfortunately come true.
He really has a way with words. I want to say thanks to It's Me, John B, Dirtnap, Lady Too Grown, as well as Beta Star. Jeff in Boston just gifted 5 subs. Want to say thanks to Hey Gwiz LOL. That's 10, I think, putting us at 34. Super strong. Also, I can't avoid thanking Jeff Callahan, who just signed up on my website with the code SADTRUMP. Troy Smith signed up with the code SADTRUMP. Joshua Cates taking advantage of the immoral but legal coupon code. Rob Fenwick signing up, and Elizabeth Preston as well. Thanks very much. We are bemoaning the sadness of this horrible, horrible Trump event.
It has not been easy for me. And, you know, I started off in Brooklyn. My father gave me a small loan of $1 million.
Yeah, and so you can use the coupon code SADTRUMP to get a membership on my website. I will thank you. And then Trump will slur and say things that don't make any sense. That's basically the plan for the night.
No longer have to abide by the rules of math or science. The rules of physics no longer apply if it's not bolstered by a mainstream media who probably never took physics. That doesn't matter anymore. It's about narrative, right? That's how science works. It's not about fact. It's about what the Democrat Party and their marketing arm, the media, would like to be true. Think of the damage that done. Look at the clown Anthony Fauci, right? He was made a deity.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Excuse me, where's the lobby?
Down the hall and grab him by the pussy.
Thanks.
Well, guys,
So Pfeffy.
if you read his emails, it's clear he either doesn't believe in science.
And now there's a Mike Pillow ad alongside. Can you imagine? We need to fight that. We need to fight that code with our own code, Sad Trump. Imagine going after a doctor.
He wanted to be loved. He wanted to throw out the first pitch at a baseball game. That didn't work out so well. Unfortunately for America, for your families, for your businesses or your places of work, it didn't work out well either. Just think.
Looks like just the feed of Dawn is frozen because the audio's fine and the graphic. Oh, there we go.
It's like he's the MVP of a baseball game, but he's playing for China. True story.
China.
Right? Who's going to parlay this one into a win? And guess what? Joe will do nothing because I'm sure they're going to get a return on investment from all the money they sunk into Hunter Biden.
What on earth is he talking about?
That's how it works, folks. So Trump was right about that. He was right about Russia. He was right about Joe. He was right about... What else will Trump be found out to be right about?
Stop it.
Everything, right? Kamala Harris and the media try blaming the border crisis on Trump.
Still with the Kamala stuff. Time for Sleep just gifted 20 subs on Twitch. Also thanks to Sumi Long, Ignatz HD, and Owen Rock. 23 plus 39. That's got to be like 62 or something like that. Also, big thank you to Carol Jones for signing up on my website. Tansueri Bryant is a new member. Whoa, huge dump of memberships. Dr. Gorka has just signed up. Pedro Salinas is a new member. Marissa Tarazovic, as well as John Moorer. Oh, whoa, hold on a second. Angela Pagano signing up with the code SADTRUMP. Phil Parker as well, putting us at 68. What a night. What a night. As if you're just joining us, Trump speaking momentarily. He has reportedly decided about whether he's running in 2024. We don't know if he'll announce it today, but he has decided. And that's what's happening at this point.
80 miles just so they don't cancel me for exaggerating. Right? From where the real crisis is, right? I can't remember who built the cages. But it's funny, you wouldn't know that.
Don't be rude.
So the same situation is going on, except it's about times 1,000. Probably a lot more. Kids living on top of one another, right? COVID.
Let's maybe go over to the other feed.
So the same situation is going on, except it's about times 1,000.
Here we go.
Probably a lot more. Kids living on top of one another, right? COVID environments, they're not testing them. Release them into the American public. That's better than deporting them, right? Who cares if they have COVID? I mean, that's been this administration's policy. They're leading from behind, and the only people who are winning are China, Russia, our enemies.
China.
Right? You saw the news about New York this week. The political persecutions will continue because basically we are no different than Russia. We are no different than the mullahs in Iran. Right? This is how Vladimir Putin treats their enemies, right? Yeah, sure. Some charges. Keep going. We'll break. Just keep going. Doesn't matter because there's no consequence. There's no accountability. And you see it in the result.
I thought it was the mullahs. I've never heard of the mullahs, but that's, I mean, I'm not as well versed in foreign policy as Don Jr.
They got it? All right. I hope they're okay. I hear the medics are on their way, but I just want to thank all of you.
What just happened?
Okay, you came out here, it was 100 degrees for hours, and then you got rained on for 10, right? This is how Vladimir Putin treats their enemies, right?
We'll go back to live
sure.
in a second.
Some charges. Keep going. We'll break. Just keep going. Doesn't matter because there's no consequence. There's no accountability. And you see it in the results. Guys, we need a medic. Is there a medic here?
Oh, boy.
They got it?
Okay.
I've been to Austin. Florida's moving into Patriot spot #1. You can't. It's just numbers, folks. I gotta apologize to my friends in Texas, but it's like the People's Republic of Austin over there now. It's like as bad as New York, maybe worse. So I want to thank you for that dedication because it's going to take people like yourselves, your involvement, your passion to get over the hurdles that we will always face.
Bing, bing,
We're not in a fair fight. Bing, bing. You got $1 trillion mainstream media organization doing what they can to suppress you. Right? How many of you guys have been suppressed on social media?
Oh, yeah. Everybody has all those problems. We are moments from hearing from Donald Trump, and I welcome to everybody. We have surpassed 10,000 viewers on YouTube. Certain things are happening on Twitch, on Facebook. I want to say thanks to Tamp ST91, as well as Blue Moon Maiden, Osky Pones, It's Synergy, and Kachna. For the Twitch Prime subscriptions. There has never been a better day to re-up your Twitch Prime sub, and the website can barely keep up with the new memberships. We have a coupon code today, Sad Trump, because this is also, it's such a sad family. Ashonda Lewis has taken advantage of it. Sylvain Viancourt, Yanni Kinnunen, Edith. Oh no, I'm not going to fall for that one. Not going to fall for that one, Edith. You almost got me. Viviana Medell, as well as Winnie Ball, Sue Sheridan, as well as Joe Collins have signed up, Finley Craig and Bart Rainey, Amy Kay, and Brenda Landers. Just really, really great people all over the place, signing up and just doing crazy things. And that code is good through the end of the night. Trump speaking momentarily, Don Jr., seemingly having a medical event during the speech, and we will go back to him.
An amendment, but I do it because I believe in those freedoms. I do it because I want my children to experience those freedoms. So we need all of you to be out there fighting with us. So on America's birthday, I want to thank each and every one of you incredible patriots for doing what you do, for showing the love that you do, for not leaving in a ridiculous monsoon.
Okay.
Because you love your country like I love our country.
China.
So stay in the fight, stay engaged, and God bless America. Happy 4th of July, everyone. Happy 4th of July. I look forward to hearing the big guy come out. And this big guy doesn't get the 10%, the other one does, right? Thank you, guys. God bless.
So a really powerful and coherent speech from Don Jr. touching on all of the issues of the day, really convincing us that the Republican Party has a plan for America and a path forward and is issue-oriented and is ready to lead and to improve people's lives in a tangible... Oh, what am I talking about? What am I talking about? Super chats continue to come in, and people significantly triggered by what we are seeing, and I understand it. I understand it. I want to say thank you to In Your Groove for signing up via Twitch Prime. As I've said before, make sure if you have an Amazon Prime subscription that you're signing up for something on Twitch every month. It doesn't have to be for me, right? But otherwise, you're just leaving the money in Jeff Bezos' pocket, and that doesn't sound like the way to go. I want to say thank you to Ty Ekelund, as well as Scott Mata, both of whom just signed up on my website with today's special coupon code SADTRUMP. Looks like Newsmax is going to a break. Let's see what's happening there.
Also, President Trump is on Rumble. Make sure you also download the RSBN app because we are circumventing Silicon Valley censorship.
Notice that it's not silicon. They're doing silicone. They will have absolutely no silicone at any Right Side Broadcasting Network event. They simply will not stand for it. It's just not going to happen. They are completely, they are on the saline bandwagon. They will not do any of the silicone stuff. That's just not, they just don't do it that way. Okay. All right. Let's get back to, we were listening to a young lady's voicemails. Let's get to the second one.
Okay. Chapter 17 of Revelation. Here's proof that if you know anything about the Catholic Church and the recent turnover for power, well, not recent, I mean, he's been up there for like eight years, but here is the mind which has wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 mountains on which the woman sits. Those mountains, I believe, are the 7 continents. The woman is the Catholic Church. It is the Vatican is Rome. There are also 7 kings. 5 have fallen. 1 is, and that was written.
So I'm going to skip to the end just to show you that these folks are using up the full capacity. They're using the full 3 minutes and then calling back. Okay, so this one gets cut off.
Credit card terminals and things of that sort, right? So, and there are already microchips in the cards. The cards are not the problem, but microchipping the hand and the head. There are people being microchipped in Scandinavian countries with.
Okay, so that got cut off. So she calls right back.
Okay, and if you want not to get the number of the beast, if you care, there's a chapter in there, I think it's chapter 9, for those who have the victory over the number of the beast, the mark.
Now, let me say something serious for a second. You know, when I play voicemails like this, people will say, these people are merely mentally ill. It's just mental illness. That's all that it is. Whether that's what it is or not, the U.S. is filled with this crap. I have a dozen regular callers who call in with all of this mark of the beast revelation stuff. It's fine to say it's mental illness, but it's the exact same sort of religious nuttery. So it's more than just mental illness.
Beast and his image, and I don't know what the image is. I think it's going to be 8 popes or something, or maybe even a video or a robot or something weird. I don't know. He hasn't told us what it is yet, and you probably don't even have to be in contact with it. Just people who follow. So
this one also went the full 3 minutes, 2 minutes 59.
The devil is in Milwaukee. His name is Kevin Koch, and isn't it funny? His last name is Koch, with like the Koch brothers, and then Donald Trump, who is death, and Mike Pence is Hades in the 6th chapter of Revelation.
Okay, cut off. Calls back immediately.
Okay, and Donald Trump was Ilsa Koch. She was known as the bitch of Buchenwald. She worked at. She was a overseer. She was married to the overseer of the camp Buchenwald.
All right. Anyway, and then there was just one more, just to close the loop on it.
Okay, now the Fox News thing, and a lot of people out there, like the Republicans. I mean, the reason they pick up the issues of like homosexuality, the sanctity of marriage, and all that, Picking on homosexuals was a part of the Nazi movement. And you talk about the ladies and people on Fox News, they're former Nazis. They're Nazis. They're Nazis. And a far right.
All right, so that's that. It's just crazy. We'll go to the next one. Here we go.
Yes, Mr. David Pakman, I was wondering if you can do a show on the entirety of the Star Spangled Banner, or the so-called the national anthem, the whole verse, the whole stanza, not the one that they took out, the whole thing. I would appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Okay. Yeah, here's another one.
Hi, David. I got a comment about the Steven Crowder, Sam Cedar event that happened. So I was really disappointed to hear that Steven Crowder does all of his shows with his father. Presumably he travels with his father when he does those campus things. I'm not sure, but
okay, so not really usable for the show. All right, we'll listen to another one.
Hi, David. Jason, just saw your video on...
Just way too low of a volume level. We'll try one more. Here we go.
Hey, David. Probably, this is Tim from Chicago, probably a rhetorical question, but regarding the Chauvin conviction, do you think that without all of the protests and the football players taking a knee at the NFL games, do you think Chauvin would have ever gotten even convicted, let alone sentenced today? So just
I don't know about that. You guys want to try one more? I think here's one in Spanish.
I just realized that
No, it's not Spanish. It's so incoherent. The text, the speech to text thought it was Spanish, but it's not.
Muslims introduced slavery into India. So Muslims enslaved people. Who were...
Okay.
Oh, and it also says the Spanish enslaved the natives here, and also what's I gonna say? Yeah, so the Muslims enslaved India, and then and then Brazil has a icy relationship with.
This seems like Ambien. Man, I don't know. I'm getting a little depressed by it. Let's get away from it. It's just this is why it's tough. I spend an hour looking through the voicemail, listening to the voicemails, and it's really hard to find something usable. I want to say thank you to ZZ Dog, Finn's Fan, as well as Tool with about 20 O's, Jimmy, Lambert, Overscored, AJ4AU, all of whom just re-upped their Twitch subs, putting us at 89. Also, Tron and Devoff Bar have signed up, putting us at 91. Because it is a really sad Trump event, you can, not only can you should sign up on my website using the coupon code SADTRUMP. 3 people just did that. Nathan Quimby just signed up. Caden Lewis just signed up. And Tim Johnson signing up. Numbers 92, 93, and 94. Very much appreciate that. We are presumably just moments from hearing from Donald Trump. Oh, also, thanks to Drifter for the Twitch Prime sub. You know what we'll do? If and when we get to 100, new member number 100, we'll get a free item from the David Pakman Show store. T-shirt, hat, mug, really whatever you want. Okay, let me go through a few super chats because I've been neglecting them. Shane says, thanks, man, for all you do. Abe says, is it fair to say at this point that Russia has invaded us and is attacking us from within? No, I don't know that that's what I would say. You'd have to say a little more about it. Teresa says, sad, love y'all, but gotta go. Smoke is coming out of my ears. I understand that. Soldier says, David, please do a clip showing the audience balancing going on behind Don Jr. Pretty funny. Yeah, they're moving people around and trying to put them in the right spots. It's pretty pathetic. Not surprised that in a crowd of thousands of overweight, sedentary, elderly folks in 100-degree weather, someone would have a medical episode. Yeah, true. Daniel says, this is like an amalgam of an angry political speech, whiny airing of grievances, and third-rate stand-up. That's a good summary. Pim Tool says, believe it or not, Junior is fluent in Farsi and Hungarian. That I don't believe. That I struggle to believe. Kimberly Guilfoyle seemed low energy today. Right. Yeah, it wasn't. Let's see if we can find that high energy. Guilfoyle, best is yet to come. This was her when she had a manic episode. Let's see if we can find it.
Commander-in-Chief, he always puts a...
Oh, wait, no. CPAC.
The best is yet to come.
Yeah. Anyway.
Gentlemen, leaders and fighters for
Here
freedom
it is.
and liberty and the American dream, the best is yet to come.
Yeah. So that was that. That was that. Earlier with Trump.
About America first. We sold our country out over the last 25, 30 years, and even before that. And we're...
Who's screaming in the background?
...to take care of our country. We owe $30 trillion, and things are happening.
Oh, that's Guilfoyle. I thought some heckler had gotten in and was... This is during the Guilfoyle event. That is something else.
We have so much, and we rebuilt our military. So now we have a beautiful rebuilt military. I hope we don't squander it.
In terms of the military, when I was just talking to Congressman Waltz, because he was in Afghanistan, they pulled the troops out of Afghanistan. Bagram Air Base has been cleared out as of this weekend. Does that concern you now that Biden is...
It was Trump's idea.
Administration.
Well, we had it done, and I think it would have been very smooth. I pulled them out. I made it so that nobody could have stopped it.
Trump didn't pull them out. That's the thing. This is just continuing. They're getting pulled out now. Trump now is like, no, very bad idea.
Now fend for themselves, and hopefully they'll do well. But I said we're coming back home. You know, they call them the endless wars. I hope he does well. I hope.
Terrible audio, by the way.
Speaking of endless wars, what do you think about the GOP leadership right now and the changes that need to be made?
Well, Mitch McConnell is very weak. If he would have gone over the election numbers when they were presented to him, and I wish they weren't presented, they should have been sent back to the legislatures because so much fraud.
Couldn't do a thing about it. Dude, you lost. You lost big.
Mitch McConnell, if he would have fought, you might have a whole different system right now. You might be in a much better position as our country. You look at what's happening with China. You look at the disrespect that China, look at the disrespect they have for us. They're in Alaska,
China.
And look at what they said yesterday, the words and the fury in the fight. We didn't have that. We didn't
The lack of investigation into the Wuhan labs and the origins of the coronavirus.
Well, the lack of investigations into that and many things. And if you look...
Why can't they pronounce anything correctly? The coronavirus? Okay, but just... Can they not say anything right?
Very scary. And the economy with inflation, I've seen inflation before. I've seen it rear its very ugly head, and it's not a pretty picture.
Do you think inflation is going to be transitory, which is the word they're using, or is it here to stay for a while?
No, I think it's going to, it's not transitory, that I can tell you. I don't think so. Look, when I left, it was $1.87 a gallon for oil.
Yeah, because no one was driving anywhere, and that was already up a whole... I mean, this is crazy. And it wasn't oil, it was for gas, and oil is priced in barrels. Everything he says just makes no sense.
No, it's a very bad situation. Very, very dangerous, very bad.
It does seem like the Biden administration just came in and immediately tried to reverse anything that you did.
Sort of like you did with Obama, sir.
Stone pipeline without asking people what the repercussions would be or having a plan.
Well, they even wanted to reverse a Space Force. So important. You know, I'm very proud of that. Not in 75 years has anything like that happened. Last was the Air Force. And they wanted to do that, and they were met head on by very powerful people that said, you're not going to do that. No, they tried to reverse a lot. Some of it is irreversible, and some of it they're reversing, and it's a big mistake.
How do you handle it when you sit back and you watch a lot of the things that you said were true and that would happen now being determined?
What a tough interview, huh?
You know, when we talk about vaccines and the Wuhan lab and where the China virus came from.
Well, you know, they do something called disinformation. Now I'm understanding they're saying, no, they wanted to fund the police, okay?
Right.
It was the Republicans that wanted to defund the police. It's called disinformation. They say if you say it enough, maybe people will believe it. They did it with Russia. They did it with the Ukraine hoax. They did it with impeachment. They did it with a lot of things. I mean, they get onto a thing. They just keep repeating a lie, and they hope people believe them. And
Now trying their best to do it with the Trump organization and your CFO?
Oh, they're absolutely doing. That's a disgrace. And you look at all of the things that they don't want to go. You look at Hillary Clinton, you look at Joe Biden, you look at the son, Hunter, but look at Joe. But they don't want to. And you know what? It's just so unfair and so bad for the country. The good news is you see the crowds, the people get it.
Let's end on a positive note and talk about the rally happening today on July 4th weekend.
Yeah.
How important.
She's off her own mic.
Until July 4th, which they would like very much to do, as you know that. No, I think it's very important. It's very exciting when you see the people, when you see the love. You know, there's great love. This is not just like a rally. These things are amazing. They say the greatest show on earth, and I think they really are. And the people make it that way.
Are you going to do it throughout the summer?
We'll do some more. We're doing one in, I guess, Georgia, I just heard. We're doing one in Alabama. We're doing one...
North Carolina, my home state.
Yes, we're doing one in North Carolina. I love North Carolina. How good is North Carolina? No problem. We won our election.
Right.
It was beautiful, and it's a great state. Now we have a lot of great states.
And finally, just a final...
Not all 50, but there are pretty, number of good states.
Dealing with the condo collapse in Surfside, Florida. I know that you spoke with Governor DeSantis. You agreed with his decision not to come here to...
Who cares if he agrees? They're talking to him like he's still the president, and many of them believe they are.
Very good job,
That he is.
and he should be there. I told him, I said, you should stay there. This is not that important for you. He, of all people, should be there.
Well, I know that you care about people. I know you care about all people deeply. And I know that that crowd out there wants to get you on stage, so I'll let you go.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so
Great
much
job.
for joining us. I really appreciate it. All right.
Wow. Incisive and very powerful interview, really getting all the hard-hitting issues. And we should be just moments from Donald Trump. Let's listen.
Today, and I'm holding the left accountable to that. You said it was Trump's fault. It's Biden's fault. Guess what? We still got skyrocketing crime in these liberal cities. Isn't it amazing?
Is there any talking point they have?
Yeah, it's all
that makes any sense. It's wild. Okay, thank you to Starlit Violets, Jordan Haddock, Primal Assault, as well as Cookster, Sheldon Black, signing up via Twitch. Toil 420 just gifted 10 subs. Our good friend Deeper Shades of House just re-upped. Sergeant Johnson re-upped. Drifter as well. That is 16. Okay, hold on. 95 plus 16. 5 plus 6 is 11. 1, carry the 1. I think that's 111. I think that's 111. And we are, looks like Trump is out, but now the whole video is frozen. Let's refresh. Here he is.
From the lakes of Minnesota.
And they're doing the stupid song too. Okay, let's see if I can thank everybody who signed up on my website before Trump speaks. Nicholas Sanchez signing up with the coupon code SADTRUMP. Oh God, no. I really don't want to mess this up. Arun Kumar Rajagapalan. Oh my God. Arun Kumar signing up with the coupon code SADTRUMP. I apologize. Sean Brown is a new member. Kyle Goodrich has signed up with the code. Scott Peltoma, as well as Blake Daniel, are new members. Nehemias Lugo Cheverez is a new member, as well as Alice Herman, putting us at 119. Very much appreciate that. And the code works, my friends.
Quiet.
Okay, thank you. We will be hearing from Donald Trump momentarily. And no question, no idea how long this might go. Oh, also thanks to the Portland Report, Red Team Go, and Bit 101 for signing up via Twitch. Yeah. Okay, here we've got a better feed, I think. Can you imagine? Blacks for Trump, highly engaged. They seem thrilled to be there. Everybody saluting, very, very thrilled to be there. You might remember at last Saturday's event, people started walking out early. They were bored. And we will be tracking that very closely. We will be tracking slurring. We will really be tracking everything. I mean, I don't know. It's just, we've got to track it all. We will continue to have super chats up on screen throughout the event. Will Trump ask for the cameras to be turned around? Does anybody know?
That's a lot of people. Thank you.
Oh, no.
Well, thank you very much.
I'm getting edgy already.
Hello, Sarasota. Special place to me. Special place. And I'm thrilled to be home in the great state of Florida with the thousands and thousands of proud American patriots who stand strong for faith and family and God and country and never forget free and fair elections and strong borders. I will build a great wall begin by wishing on our southern border, and I will have Mexico pay for that wall. Mark my words. And also, please, may we have a moment of silence for the victims and families of the horrible building collapse in Surfside, Florida. Thank you.
Trump observing a moment of silence. People just screaming stuff during the moment of silence, very much on brand. Did he point to God? What was that? Who did he point to there?
Terrible, terrible tragedy.
That was weird. Seemed fake.
Tomorrow we will celebrate 245 years of glorious American independence. And it will not be canceled, by the way. It will be canceled.
Who's trying to cancel?
And we will teach young people across the country that George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, Thomas Jefferson, John Adams, Benjamin Franklin, John Hancock will forever be American heroes. People want to take their names off buildings. Can you believe it? They took names off buildings like George Washington. And I told you, this is where they're coming from. We're not going to let that happen. They will never be purged from history or canceled from our hearts. The mission for all of us here tonight is to preserve the legacy of July 4th, 1776. And to defend our liberty from the radical left movement that seeks to cancel this date, demolish our heritage, and destroy our beloved nation. In just 5 months, the Biden administration has launched an all-out assault on everything we cherish and we value. Under Joe Biden and the left, I don't know if it's Joe, to be honest with you. It's somebody. Does anybody know who it is?
Everyone's yelling Kamala. They still can't say her name correctly, or they've refused to.
For religious liberty is being crushed. Nobody took care of religious liberty like we did. Dissenters are being persecuted. Our streets are being overtaken by vicious thugs and bloodthirsty criminals, Democrat cities. Our border is being erased before our very eyes. It was never stronger than the border that we created just a few months ago. Critical race theory is being shoved down our children's throats and into the ranks of our military. And our generals are even going for it. Maybe they're just doing that because they think that's politics. They ought to focus on China and Russia and other things of far greater importance. Big tech monopolies are out of control. Men are allowed to play in women's sports.
Uh-oh.
So unfair, so crazy, and so bad for women's and the whole women's sports movement. So unfair, so bad. It'll end, it'll end, it'll end hopefully sooner rather than later. And our leaders are weakly bowing down to Russia, Iran, and communist China. There's only one way to save our nation. We have to work harder than ever before to win the colossal victory for America First Republicans in the midterms next year. And we have to keep fighting exactly like we are for right now. And I'll be doing exactly that. And we need your help. We need the help of this great country. And I just left Ohio a few days ago. We had 42,000 people also.
No way.
And this crowd
42,000.
is big. They say you had like this massive storm. They say we lost nobody.
People were leaving. People were just walking out.
I love those guys back there. Together we will take back the House, we will take back the Senate, and we will take back America. We're not going to let this happen.
It'd be great if somebody said, you know, why do we need you to take those things back? You lost all of those things for us.
Of American sovereignty firsthand. You saw that. What a demolition it was. The Biden administration's willful and deliberate obliteration of America's borders and immigration laws is a crime against this nation. We will not stop and we will not rest until illegal policies are overturned. And there's so many of them. They work so quickly. Under my administration, we stood up to the Open Borders lobby, and it is a big and powerful lobby, and nobody knows why. How the hell is this good for our country? People coming in, they're releasing them from prisons. They're criminals at the highest level, murderers, drug dealers. We took on the corrupt special interests. We fought the radical globalists left, and we won. We won so.
Globalist again. They lost everything, remember? Lost 18, the House, 20, Senate and White House.
When I left office, we had the most secure border in U.S. history. We ended catch and release. We ended asylum fraud. We stopped the migrant caravans. You know the caravans? They're coming back. They're coming back like never before. We deported criminal aliens by the tens of thousands. We achieved a 95% reduction in illegal border crossings. And we built nearly 500 miles of border wall. Really big, powerful, strong border.
Wasn't it 88 miles?
Would have been nice if they finished the border wall, and they got to paint the border wall too. We needed another couple of months. It would have been complete. It took us 2.5 years of litigation. We were sued by the Democrats. We were sued by Schumer, Pelosi, the Democrats. 2.5 years. We won 11 lawsuits, and we started almost 500 miles. Incredible, but they got to finish it up. Just finish it up. Little sections left.
Yep. He got 88 miles done. If he had just had a few more months, he would have gotten all 2,000 miles done. That makes a lot of sense.
But now Joe Biden has intentionally dismantled the border and allowed the cartels, coyotes, child smugglers, woman smugglers, the biggest smugglers, they're the women smugglers, drug dealers, murderers, and savage MS-13 gang members to infiltrate our country like never before. It's never been like this. Think of it, 6 months ago, we had the safest border in history. Now we have the worst and most unsafe border in history. But we are helping other countries because their prisons are very soon going to be totally empty. Thank you very much. They're sending them into our country. They're saying, we don't want these people. They're sending them into our country. Biden terminated remain in Mexico. How good was that? You can't come in, you have to be in Mexico. They were taking everybody. He ripped up our safe third agreements with Central America. You know, we had agreements with other countries. They didn't want to take back prisoners. They didn't want to take back MS-13 criminals at the worst kind, murderers. And I said, well, why aren't they taking it back? They didn't do it during
Usually the crowd doesn't get bored until about 35 minutes in. He's already lost the crowd. It's actually, I've never seen him lose the crowd so quickly.
It's loaded up with MS-13 gang members. And you've heard me say this. I said to our people, really, that's terrible. How much do we pay them? Sir, we pay them $500 million a year. I said, that's okay, stop payment. And I stopped payment. I stopped payment, and the next day I got a call from the head of Honduras, Guatemala, El Salvador. And they said, sir, you stopped payment on the money that the United States was, in brackets, stupidly sending us. You stopped payment, sir, why?
Sir.
I said, because you're not taking back people that should be in your country. You're forcing them into ours, and you're not letting us bring them back. And we're not going to pay you ever again. We're not giving you anything. They said, but sir, there must be a misunderstanding. We would love to have MS-13 back. Please, please send that. So the following day, they all went back, and we sent them back by the thousands. And they reversed that, and they reversed our asylum reforms, and they halted the border wall, and they shut down ICE.
This guy seems extra bored right
great
here.
patriots of ICE, and instituted catch and release nationwide. And you know what that is. You catch someone, a criminal, a murderer, you take the name, they don't have much of an address, and you release them into our country. Congratulations. You've got a nice murderer now.
Guys,
and you
headed
have
out.
them by the thousands.
One
In
guy's
just
out.
5 months, the Biden administration is...
Do you guys notice that? These two ladies, that they looked over, they're like, whoa, that guy's leaving already? That's weird.
Illegal immigration is up nearly 1,000% from when I was president. And at this time in 2020, think of it, there has never been anything like the border that we created, and people could come into our country.
Everybody now is distracted by something off in this direction. You guys notice that? Everybody's looking off in this direction. Really weird.
Migrant alien youth are up nearly 500%, and they're being resettled in cities and towns.
Hey, by the way, where are the Blacks for Trump people all of a sudden? Oh, hold on. Here's one. But weren't there 5 Blacks for Trump people? When did they disappear? I didn't even notice that. That's bizarre.
And the way they were treated, you've seen them. They get them dropped off the wall. They drop them from a 30-foot wall. But there are many of them on suicide watch. But that's not all. American taxpayers are now being forced to pay for the relatives of illegal aliens to be flown here to join them in the United States. Isn't that nice? Isn't that nice? Because it's called chain migration. You know what chain migration is? Somebody comes, whether he's killer, not killer, drug dealer, not... He comes here, he's allowed to bring in his mother, his father, his sister, his brother, his aunt, his uncle, his grandfather, his grandmother. He's allowed to bring in anybody he wants or she wants. And we don't want that. And we ended it. And now they're opening it up again. They're bringing people in by the hundreds of thousands, by the millions, by the way.
Sure.
You know, when they report they're up almost 1,000%, they don't know. Because for everyone you catch, they say 5 times. They say multiply times 5. I say multiply it times more than 10 times. Wrong. More than 10 times. They're destroying our country. We are witnessing an illegal mass migration that is planned, facilitated, funded, aided, and abetted by the far-left Democrats, who, thanks to a totally rigged and...
Oh, Blacks for Trump are back now. Now people are distracted by something over in this direction. It's very strange. This looks like a Duck Dynasty guy here. It is a bizarre event. I mean, just cannot make heads or tails out of it.
America has no borders, and if his policies are not reversed immediately, we will have no country. And, you know, I watch every once in a while some of our great people in Congress who are here. We have a lot of great people here tonight, and we're going to introduce some of them, and we have great representatives. But I watch them say, oh, we have to immediately go back to the Trump policy. Not that easy. Like, you got to make a new deal with these countries. You got to make new deals with Mexico. I have a great relationship with the president of Mexico.
What do you do? You're not the president. He's talking like he's still making deals and talking to world leaders. You guys see how distracted the crowd is now looking off to their right?
28,000 soldiers to protect our border. Free. I got them for nothing. But I promise not to put tariffs on his cars, but that's okay. You know, they sold 32% of our automobile manufacturing business over a 30-year period. I'd say that's a lot. But he's terrific, and we got along great. He did a great job, and one of the reasons we brought it down so low. And he doesn't want people coming from all over the world traipsing through Mexico. And by the way, they come from the Middle East. They come from lots of places. You don't want to know about it. Tonight, I want to speak to every border agent, ICE officer, and law enforcement professional who Joe Biden has cruelly betrayed. He's betrayed. They lied during the campaign. I told you they were lying, but a lot of people didn't believe me. They lied like hell. Did they lie about energy? Remember, we want energy. They're closing down everything. You will not be energy.
Weird. Trump said there'd be no indoor heating or cooling, no water coming out of the shower. You'd have to flush toilets 10 to 15 times. But Biden's the one that's lying? What?
Russia, we didn't need anybody. In 2 weeks, you will not be energy independent. They're canceling leases. They're stopping drilling. They want to go to windmills, right? Windmills.
Uh-oh.
Wind. Oh, boy. They want to go, let's go build a windmill, Alice. And if the wind isn't blowing, don't worry about it, darling. We'll have to learn to live a different way. I think it's so sad. You know, I'm not against a lot of things, but when I see these big towers, these big wind towers that are rotting and rusting and they make a lot of noise, and they drive down the value of your homes if you happen to be in earshot or sight, and it's very intermittent energy. It's not good. And they're ruining our fields, they're ruining our oceans.
Right.
And they're all made in China, and they're all made in Germany. Germany and China make 100% of those big wind towers, so they got to be laughing at us. It's so sad. You saw what happened in Texas. They froze up. Got a little cold, they froze up. I think Texas, you have a great governor in Texas.
Yeah, as many of you guys know, that's completely untrue. I have an entire YouTube clip about the truth about what happened in Texas, and it's very much different than what Donald Trump is telling you.
I want you to know that the American people thank you, they believe in you, they love you, they respect you, they need you.
Oh, there's kids. I just noted. Look at this. There's one kid here and another kid here. Is this, in a sense, it could be child abuse, right? I mean, is this child abuse?
Backstage, I'll tell you, these are great people. We're going to elect a Republican Congress to terminate Joe Biden's open border catastrophe, defund his extreme agenda, and give our ICE and Border Patrol the resources, support, and gratitude they so richly deserve. The Socialist Democrats have not only brought chaos and bedlam to the border, they brought every bad thing you can have to this border. This border is a disaster. By defunding police, and by the way, do you hear the new one? It was the Republicans. You know what they do? It's called disinformation. Like Russia. Trump was so friendly with Russia. Trump worked for Russia. You know, they say it over and over on the fake news media. Oh, there's a lot of them back there.
Oh, there's 3 kids now.
Ooh.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, boy.
All wearing a tablecloth.
Trump loves Russia. You know, I'm the one that exposed the pipeline. I shut down the pipeline to Europe. I don't think they like me too much. But, you know, they say it over and over. And so now they're getting killed by the defund the police, which they're doing, by the way. But they're getting absolutely killed. So all of a sudden, they said today, I heard, and there's a word, disinformation. It's called if you say it enough,
I'll be right
keep
back.
saying it, just keep saying it, they'll start to believe you. We can't let that happen. Because now they're saying the Republicans wanted to defund the police. I said, you know, I heard it for the first time. I said, you know, did I hear that wrong? Please play that over again. You know, nowadays we can actually play things over again. I said, play it over again. It was the Republicans' fault. It is such a disaster what these people do. It's disinformation. They say it again and again and again. And after months and months of hearing it, and we have no free press anymore. The free press is truly gone. Other than a few sources, it's gone. So they get away with this stuff. We cannot let it happen. We have to be much tougher, stronger, and smarter. We have to be. By defunding police, abolishing cash bail, and releasing tens and tens and tens of thousands of dangerous criminals from jail, The radical left is bringing a nightmare of mayhem and lawlessness to every city, every suburb, and every community in America. You know, when they come in through these jails, they don't stay there. They go all throughout your beautiful community. That includes Florida and Ohio and Iowa and every other state in the union. Joe Biden canceled our program to send federal law enforcement to cities overrun by violent crime. Isn't it interesting to know that every one of those cities is Democrat, leaving innocent Americans at the mercy of brutal gangsters and ruthless killers? People are afraid to go into those cities. Now the murder rate has just seen its largest single-year increase in history, all in Democrat-run cities and areas. Think of that. Now, how did they recover from that? Look at Chicago, such a great city, and now look at what's happened. Look at New York. The prosecutors never want to talk about anybody that murdered. They don't want to talk about anybody that's trafficking in drugs. They're letting the people out by the thousands. The bloodshed is beyond belief. This week, a 21-year-old U.S. Marine was hit by a stray bullet in broad daylight while standing in the middle of Times Square.
Bro.
78 people were shot in Chicago last week alone. Now, just think of that.
They were shot?
Talk, 78 people. You know, people are sort of thinking about other things. Maybe you're not having a great time. Is everybody having a great time today?
He's such a great
Even though
speaker.
the subject is a negative one, eventually the subject will be the most positive one you've ever been involved in, okay? Now, these rallies are incredible. They all...
Thanks to Amanda Pancake for signing up on my website with the code SADTRUMP. And it is sad, isn't it?
And this area is so great. We won Florida by a lot. We won Florida by a lot.
A lot. Well, he's here. What do you mean we want him? Oh, we love. Oh.
So, you know, I live in Florida. I'm a citizen of Florida. Listen to this. So,
it's called a resident,
when I was down
actually.
here, thank you very much, but...
The president just said he's a citizen of a state. Guys.
After commercial, I think they spent $240 million in Florida. One lightweight put up $100 million of negative ads. I don't know, he was jealous because he did so poorly in a debate. Something happened. Put up $100 million. They spent hundreds of millions. I turn on, every commercial was a kill. I called my people. I said, how the hell can I win Florida? They said, sir, you're going to win in a landslide. And that's what happened. That's what happened. It's pretty amazing. Because ultimately, the people are really smart. They don't get enough credit. If you want law and order and justice, you have only...
That's actually correct. The former president doesn't realize the difference between residency and citizenship. That's strange.
We have some good ones, right? America first, save America. But there's something about MAGA. Just keeps coming back, right? MAGA country. Even while the Democrat extremists let murderers, rapists, drug dealers, and dangerous criminals run wild in Democrat cities, they're corrupting and weaponizing the law against their political opponents. Oh, gee, I'm so surprised. Radical left New York City and state prosecutors who have allowed crime to skyrocket to... We have never seen anything like what's happened.
That was a glitch.
Record levels. Record murders up a percentage that's not even possible. And outrageously and shamefully continuing the greatest witch hunt. That's what they do. They go and target me. I've been targeted since I came down the escalator. Do you remember Mueller? The 18 angry Democrats, remember that?
Remember when I came down and said that thing about Mexican rapists? Ever since that day, they've been going after me.
Said there was no collusion. I couldn't believe they came up with that. A friend of mine said, you have to be the cleanest guy in history. Think of it. 2.5 years, 48 million, the Mueller report, no collusion. This is the kind of persecution that they're doing, as an example, in New York, and they're doing it all over, that you would see in a third world nation. This isn't for us. It's reminiscent of a communist dictatorship targeting your political opponents for, really, it is, think of it, prosecution. They prosecute people, good people, fabulous people, people that love our country, honest people, fabricating charges to try and silence them, abusing the justice system and leaking out information on a daily basis in the press, to engage in flagrant character.
People literally sleeping at the event. See this baby asleep right here? Can't stay awake.
It's unprecedented, unheard of, and totally unacceptable in America for prosecutors to run for office on a promise to get their political enemies. How about the one, New York State? We're going to get Trump. I'm running. She's running. I'm going to get Trump. I promise her. Knows nothing about me. All she knows, she's going to get me from the day she got in. I'm going to get Trump. But you know, the people are wise to it. The people get it. I'm going to get Trump. Vote for me. I don't know a damn thing about him, but I'm going to get him. But even if they've committed no crimes, no problems, it's a fascist and authoritarian, and the people who talk about democracy are literally destroying it before our very eyes. Nobody can believe the things that we're witnessing, so many things. After hundreds of subpoenas, and that includes Mueller and all of the Congress where I have been, think of it, probably no president has done more than we have, the Trump administration, including you.
Now the crowd's alive now.
With the lowest taxes, the biggest tax cut ever, with the biggest regulation.
These are every single one of these things is a lie. I mean, it's not, he's not even president, so it's not worth debunking each thing, but it's the same stuff we were debunking all of the presidency.
Which everybody's big deal. Lots of big deals. But just think of it. We did all of this and constantly under investigation by the radical left. From day one, from the day I came down the escalator with your great and beautiful future First Lady. Right from that day. They do love our First Lady, I will say. She's great. She is great, and she loves you, and she says hello. After over 3 million pages of documents. Think of that, 3 million pages. Great company, big company, great company. They don't give you credit for that. I used to get a lot of credit. I get credit from the people that know. 4 years of searching, dozens and dozens of interviews, and millions of dollars spent of taxpayer funds, all wasted. The radical left continues to search for a crime and wreck lives, break laws, violate every principle of justice, fairness, and liberty. You see it. You see it on a constant basis. It's really called prosecutorial misconduct.
Whoa.
It's a terrible, terrible thing. There's no depth to which the radical left will not sink to stop our Make America Great Again movement. Think of it. New York prosecutors did not go after a single financial firm after the 2008 financial crisis caused by all of those firms, which devastated and almost destroyed our country. No one was ever held accountable. No one. They did not go after Hunter Biden or his father for major crimes. So, Joe was totally in on it. Look, Joe said, I didn't know anything about it. A report came out today in the New York Post, and actually by some great reporters. New York Post has done an incredible job. But where Joe Biden knew everything. He knew everything. Hunter Biden, what they did with money pouring in from Russia, from Ukraine, from China. They didn't go after Hillary Clinton and her foundation. They didn't touch her. They leave Democrats alone no matter how bad they are, but they've mobilized every power of government to come after me, my family, my wonderful employees, and my company solely because of politics. They want to do things to hurt us. We're too smart, we're too good. I think we're too good, and we're too united. Because remember this, the Democrats have horrible policy. Think of it, open borders, sanctuary cities. I mean, the policies are so, defund the police, it's their policy. Remember, don't let them talk anybody out of that.
What prominent Democratic senators want to defund the police? I'm trying to think.
Republicans, I don't know why.
What Democratic senators at all? Forget about prominent.
Back the way they fight. But they do have one thing that's good. They stick together. You don't have Mitt Romney and Little Ben Sass and these people. You don't have these people. They stick together, and I respect that. The harder I fight for you, the harder they come after me. Crime is rampant on our streets of these cities. And these prosecutors refuse to prosecute even for murder, deadly assault, robbery, drug, and human trafficking. They refuse to prosecute. The only one they want to prosecute is me or Republicans.
Right.
How many of the Congress people are under investigation over there? They're letting thousands and thousands of criminals out of jail. You saw it was just announced. They're letting all these people.
He seems to be just redoing the same material. I don't mean from previous rallies. Obviously, it's all from previous rallies. He seems to be doing the same stuff from 15 minutes ago.
People are afraid to go to our Democrat-run cities. I don't like going. They're afraid to go. Who the hell wants to go? And yet they go after good, hard-working people.
More people bailing.
For not paying taxes on a company car. Company car. You didn't pay tax on the car. Or a company apartment. You used an apartment because...
This woman's talking into her phone here, or her watch here.
Says you didn't pay tax. Or education for your grandchildren. I don't even know. Do you have to? But does anybody know the answer to that stuff? Okay? But they indict people for that.
Isn't Trump's entire fortune, or at least the basis of it, based on doing business in the very city, New York City, that he claims is terrible for business?
Left and right, that's okay. Think of it. Think of how unfair it is. Never before has New York City and their prosecutors, or perhaps any prosecutors, criminally charged a company or a person for fringe benefits. Fringe benefits. Murder's okay. Human trafficking, no problem. But fringe benefits, you can't do that. Every abuse, and by the way, every company and who the hell, people don't even know. They don't even know. Every abuse and attack they throw my way is solely because I have been fighting for you against the corrupt establishment.
Be interesting to interview people as they leave and say, hey, what did you learn today that you didn't know when you walked in here? I think that would lead to some pretty interesting clips.
Investigations, they've all seen this. Mueller, he spent $48 million. He saw it. They also had many people, they saw it. But this last group, the radical left, they said, listen, we failed in Washington to get him. Here's the papers. See if you can take him out, New York. Radical left New York. It's because I have called for and I called them out on the lies and exposed their incompetence and taken away their power. And perhaps most importantly, it's because I got 75 million votes.
Remember, he got 74 million, just like the flu was 1918. But it doesn't matter if the other person gets 7-8 million more.
But that's by far the most of any sitting president in history. Thank you.
Yeah. And Biden's 81.2 million is the most of anybody ever. Well, Trump, oh my God, look at this guy saluting. Oh my God, isn't that, I think the concept there is that Trump's still the commander. Did you guys see this guy stand up and salute? A big thank you to Judy Lilly for signing up. We have a coupon code, Sad Trump. It's active right now.
Of any sitting president in the history of our country, far more than Obama, far more than anybody. And again, how many more would we have gotten?
Starting to slur,
fair elections. How many? I can tell you, I think many millions and millions, but a lot of things are happening. Watch, just stay tuned. I want to thank so many of the states. You look at what's going on in some of the states, it's incredible what they're doing because they get it. And I'm far more popular now than on election day because the people have watched what the hell has happened to our country in just
That's not true.
a very short period of time.
If anything, people have forgotten how horribly he dealt with COVID, if it's even true that his approval is up.
It's really an atrocious abuse of power. Nobody's ever seen anything like this. And the American people will not stand for it. I know that. Now, we're thrilled to be joined tonight by many outstanding Republican leaders.
Uh-oh.
And they're really friends of mine, and they're warriors. And there are a few here that I'm not going to introduce because they're not warriors. So the hell with them. Who cares?
All right. Yeah.
They're not warriors.
Fine with me.
They're not warriors. But these people are incredible, and these are the kind of people we need. And these are the people that made our country great. These are...
Hey, will he introduce Gaetz, who he's been trying to distance himself from for possible child sex trafficking?
Representative Greg Steube. Stand up, Greg. Vern Buchanan. Vern, thank you. Thank you, Vern. A very shy man, Mike Waltz. Thank you, Mike. Thank you. Great job you're doing, Mike. Somebody with an unbelievable future. I wish I had his future. I want his future. Byron Donalds.
I've not heard of most of these people.
Right away, right? I gave him an endorsement. I met him. I said, I'm endorsing him. It took about 12 minutes. A friend of mine, a great guy. He's fighting. And
Is it Gaetz?
I guess they don't like people that do that. But he's somebody who's very special in so many ways. And he's a very brave guy, Matt Gaetz.
Wow. Remember that they've been, standing ovation for Gaetz. Trump had been distancing from Gaetz for a while because it looked so bad. And now Trump actually going fully in. Wow.
Another warrior and somebody that really loves his state. You know who it is?
No.
You know who it is, right? Gus Bilirakis. Gus Bilirakis. He's
never heard of him.
Somebody that fights like hell. Where is he? Gus. Thank you, Gus. Scott Franklin. You know Scott? Thanks, Scott. And a woman who's become a friend of mine. She's incredible. And I guarantee you nobody's going into her house unless they have approval. There was no games, right? He's screaming out, Lauren, it's Lauren. Lauren Boebert.
Oh, God. Wow.
Nobody's going into your house, Lauren. Don't.
Suddenly, blacks for Trump are engaged. They like Boebert, I guess. And also the guy with the neck beard loved it.
Thanks, Lauren. Vice Chair of the Florida GOP, Christian Ziegler. Christian, thank you. Great job. Great job on the election. My son, Don, who got up and made a speech. Did he do a good job? Did he do good? Yeah. People love Don. He's a great guy. And Kimberly Guilfoyle. I listened to their speeches. They were great. And I just want to thank all of them and others that are here. And, we have a lot of people from our Republican Party. They fought like hell in this election against a lot of odds because the money that was spent is unprecedented. And
you are fake
easily.
news.
We won by a lot, by a record. And I just want to thank them all and the people from Congress and the people from the Republican Party. What a job you did, and thank you very much.
I really hope he brings up that guy, Chris Calamari, or whatever his name is.
I want to thank a group. It's called Right Side Broadcasting Network for their
no.
long-time coverage of our incredible movement.
Oh, no. Standing ovation for Right Side Broadcasting.
You know, they got banned because they held a speech or something, and they got banned from where? They got banned. And they don't give a damn. They're out there. They're fighters. They have been so great. And OAN and Newsmax and a lot of great people. A lot of great. We're getting the word out like never before. It's been amazing.
Yeah.
This is all live stuff. And a lot of cameras are going right now. That's good. Thank you very much. I don't want to mention bad about anybody because they'll turn those cameras off immediately. And I also want to thank a man who is a true fighter. You do not want to fight with him. These are tough guys, but don't fight with this guy. Jorge Masvidal, because he brought Miami to a level that nobody thought a Republican could get to. And Jorge, I want to thank you very much. You are really...
I mean, listen, I get that Trump's not great with languages, but couldn't we do a little bit better than Jorge? We can't do any better than that.
Go to Sky King Fireworks and, You know, Sky King said we are big fans and we want to do a great show. So I'll let you know if it's any good, because right after I'm finished, we're going to have the best fireworks you've ever seen. I'm staying.
Yes. Everybody loves fireworks.
And the Sarasota Republican Party, led by my good friend, Florida Republican Party Chairman Joe Gruters, for tonight's fireworks show. Where's Joe? I love Joe. Joe gave me the Man of the Year. Before I ever did this, he gave me Man of the Year twice.
That's why you like
He gave it to me once, and then he gave it to me during Romney's convention, because he probably knew where Romney was going, and that wasn't to a victory.
Yeah.
But it was during the convention, and I said, you know, I have a little conflict. I have the convention. He said, I'll take the award. I came to Sarasota, I think that night or the night before, and Joe has done a fantastic job. Thank you very much, Joe. Appreciate it. And other people that have been incredible. My people came up, they said, please, sir, would you do us a favor? What? Would you thank the Sarasota police and fire departments for the incredible job? And I said, yes, I will. Yes, I will. And they said, sir, also, please, sir, Sarasota County Sheriff's Office and all of law enforcement here tonight from all over Florida, we thank you, we love you, and we appreciate it. Thank you very much.
I'm really interested in this guy's story right here. The guy who stood up and saluted Trump and who's in uniform. I want to know more about it.
Incredible tonight. You know, we had a lot of people came into this area, and they came in quickly. And with you came the storms, and then you sat and you got drenched. Is everybody drenched?
Trump's soaking wet already, as he likes to say.
Well, you don't have to worry about taking a shower tonight. That's so clean. That water is so clean and nice.
He's so funny.
Each and every one of us here tonight is part of a movement unlike anything the world has ever seen before.
That's true.
Never been a movement.
That's true.
Never been a movement like this. You know, I know people, good people, they've gone into Republican primaries, Democrat primaries, and they did, you know, really well. They came in second, third, fourth, and they became famous for the rest of their lives, and they're commentators, and they're good. We won the presidency. We changed the world. We gained respect all over the world for our country again. And wait till you see what's going to happen, because great things are going to happen for our country.
Tell us, please.
But there's never been anything like it. There's never been anything like it. We've already accomplished more than anyone thought even possible. And that's despite, as I said before, all of the everyday subpoenas, subpoenas. You know, Congress has sent back hundreds and hundreds every day on a daily basis. We got subpoenas. They want to see this, they want to see that. Somebody said to me, very smart person, one of the smartest people, actually, very successful, said, could I ask you a question? First of all, how do you take it? I said, I don't know. It almost becomes like part of the work program. How do you take it? How the hell do you take it? And they ask me that question a lot. How do you do this? But what we've done is something that nobody thought possible. How do you do it? We do it because I love what we've done. And what we've done is going to get better and better. And the beautiful thing about what happened is now people can see how bad it can go and how quickly it can be taken away. And we can't let that happen. We can't let that happen.
I couldn't tell you what he's talking about. I really couldn't. I don't know what he's saying.
And to think that we were all set. I'll tell you what, we would have had a deal with Iran in 1 week. 1 week. Thank you. I love you too. Look at that. I love you too.
What do you mean we would have had a deal with Iran? He had months to make one. He didn't make one.
Would have had a deal with Iran in 1 week. We had done such a great job in China. You know the story with China. We made one of the greatest trade deals ever made. But once the plague came in from China, I felt I don't even talk about it, but it's helped our farmers a lot and our manufacturers. And they have lived up to that deal. I will say that about China. But it's just a terrible thing. And so many other things were happening that were so positive. You know, North Korea, President Obama told me that North Korea is going to be the biggest problem. I got along with Kim Jong-un. I got along with him great.
They fell in love, as he says.
And it was only a very corrupt election that slowed us down.
Uh-oh, what's going on? There's a big commotion.
But good things are going to happen. Remember, we passed record-setting tax cuts.
There's a
We
big commotion
imposed
here.
massive regulation cuts. We adopted pro-American energy policies.
What do you
and
think's happening?
achieved. Oh, it's so sad to say it because you're not going to have it anymore. Look at that beautiful price that
crowd's
you're
not
paying
even
now
looking.
in gasoline. Aren't you happy at $3.50? You know what? In a year from now, you'll be extremely happy at $3.50 because it's going to go a hell of a lot higher. 187 to 350, but we had it done. American energy independence. I was so proud of that. We fought for fair trade because every country in the world was ripping off the United States. The European Union was almost as bad as China, but nobody wants to say that. You know, it's
No.
Europe. Nobody wants to say.
Nobody would say.
And then we got them to pay NATO, $430 billion because they weren't paying their bills. So I said, listen, you're ripping us off on trade. You know the expression, how many Chevrolets do you find in the middle of Munich? Not too many, like maybe one. I doubt it. I doubt it.
Because it would be totally natural for Germans to say, we've got BMW, we've got Mercedes, we've got Audi, we've got Volkswagen. Give me a Chevy. Let's bring some Chevys here. We need Chevys.
Before the plague came in, and then when the plague did come in, the China virus came in, we did it again. We did it again. And you have a great economy. If we didn't have the strong foundation, and the radical left used to look for
What's funny is, you know what American cars you see in Germany? You see Tesla. That's what you see.
What is India doing? They got a lot of problems. Look at how well this country, they have suffered at a level that nobody ever thought. But all these countries, and they were only doing it to try and compare us to a country that they thought at the time was doing well. They didn't do too well. Because what India and others are going through right now is not even thinkable. Not even thinkable. And what we're doing now is if they don't kill it with inflation and all the factors, because you're going to see some things that are happening that are very bad. They're doing some very dangerous and very bad things. But we've never had an economy like we had before, and we built it because the foundation was so strong. Remember this, we had 160 million people working. We were never even close to that. African American, Asian American, Hispanic American, women, young people, people with a diploma, people without a diploma. People from MIT, Harvard, and Wharton, they did great. People that didn't go to the best schools did great. Everybody was doing great. And actually, I was getting calls from people on the left. Let's get together. I'm telling you, it was starting. I was starting to see that there was going to be.
He was 3 days from completely bridging the gap with Democrats, and then the virus hit.
We never had better employment numbers. We never had. Every group was making more than they had ever made before. And the biggest beneficiary were blue-collar workers. It was a beautiful thing to watch. And I'm telling you, had we not been hit by the plague, this country would be very unified. I really believe it. Can you believe that? And I'm never sure, I wouldn't have said that.
How long has he been going?
But I was getting calls from people that you would not have believed. Very friendly calls. They couldn't believe what was happening. And then we got hit. And we had to do it again. And we did it twice.
I guess about
we did it
50
twice.
minutes.
During the pandemic, we produced 3 vaccines in record time. And remember, 3 to 5 years, they said. And they said, but it probably won't happen.
He's responsible for the vaccine that we don't even really need because it's not serious, guys. So, yeah.
Taking it and all of that, but what a difference. What a great thing. And that's for the world. Had we not had that, we would.
Trump must be praised for developing the vaccine to save us from the virus that's not serious anyway, but anything good is definitely Trump's fault.
We would have had another 1917 Spanish flu.
Here we go. It's 1918. There's no reason to keep saying 17.
They say died. But while Joe Biden now wants credit for all of our successes, do you remember during the inauguration, he said he created the vaccine? I said, no joke.
Joe Biden never said that.
On December 11th, remember we put it into your arm to keep you safe.
Joe Biden never said that.
His radical agenda and far-left policies have already begun to destroy our country. Biden canceled the American Keystone XL pipeline. Can
Thank
you
goodness.
believe that? 48,000 jobs. And he approved the Russian pipeline to Europe. It's not even. And they say Trump wasn't tough on Russia. Really? I stopped their pipeline.
Even that whole thing, Biden approved. I mean, it's like it's not Biden. Biden can't approve that.
Let it go through. So what's that all about? Trump wasn't tough on Russia. And I actually had and have a very good relationship with President Putin. But that's a good thing. That's not a bad thing. That's actually a very good thing. And until the plague came in...
I'm being told we should be focusing in on this guy in the blue shirt as well as his wife, who look maybe more bored than anyone there. I'm going to keep an eye on them for the next period of time and see what they do. Wife looking a little bit engaged. The guy in particular seems so bored.
I knew I wasn't going to take their nonsense because they rip us off at a level that you've never seen before outside of China and a couple of others. Biden re-entered the job-killing Paris Climate Accord. Okay? That's going to cost us $1 trillion, and you have to close a lot of factories. It was a big mistake to do it. China doesn't kick into that deal for many, many years. Russia kicks in at the lowest level, and we're going to pay trillions of dollars for that. Lose lots of business. It's a disaster. You know, one thing that happened, the World Health Organization. So when I pulled out of that because they blew every conceivable thing having to do, they said, keep your country.
This guy is yawning. He seems physically in pain from what's going on. Now he's on his phone. This may be the most bored guy. That's actually it's a good assessment that someone just sent me.
I had a good relationship with him. Honestly, I had a pretty good relationship. He said, just call me Tony, sir. I call him, just call me Tony. He said, sir, just call me Tony. He's a hell of a promoter, though. Don't you agree? Remember, no masks. Masks are terrible. Don't wear masks. And now he's a radical masker. Have 3 masks, and if you can, put on goggles and a helmet.
That's kind of funny.
Deal. But Biden's pushing now the largest tax hike in history. I gave you the largest tax decrease in the history of our country.
Helmet. That's funny.
That's what I mean about their policies. How the hell can open borders, tax increases, all of these things, sanctuary cities, all of the crap they want to teach our kids in school, how can that be good? You know what? If they had good policy, I think they'd be hard to beat. But their policy is so bad. It's so radical and it's so sick.
I'm told there's 3 Larry the Cable Guy clones on screen. I don't know that I see this guy here for sure. That's a Larry the Cable Guy clone. Maybe this guy, but I don't know that I see 3.
Structure plan would annihilate America's suburbs by abolishing single-family home zoning here in Florida and nationwide. And the reason they mention that is because I wrote all of that stuff off. You know that. I used to campaign on the suburbs. Then they say, how did Trump do with women in the suburbs? I think I did very well. I think. You know.
Are people referring to this guy? I mean, I don't think the age fits.
I got 63 million votes, and John McLaughlin said, sir, if you get 64 or 65, the election is over, you win. Because most presidents go down in the second term when they run. Obama went way down. He won the second time. You know, his competition was Romney. Who the hell is he going to beat Romney? In one of the worst campaigns in history. It was an embarrassment. But he beat Romney.
Oh, the neckbeard guy is sort of a, yeah, that's true. He's kind of a Larry the Cable Guy clone. Is he blocked by the teleprompter Trump doesn't use? Oh, no, he's here.
If you can get 64 million or 65 million, there is no way you can lose the election. I got 75 million, and they said, you lost. The USA Today explained Biden's deranged socialist scheme with, quote, a house with a white picket fence and a big backyard for the 4th of July barbecue celebration may be a staple of the American dream, but experts and local politicians say multifamily zoning is the key to combating climate change, always climate change. And remember this, climate change, you only have 9 years left, right? Remember where AOC got up? We have 12 years. Well, we might have problems. We better be careful about nuclear but you're not going to worry about it. You're just going to do everything right. You'll be fine. But we have, because of climate change, 12 years to live. We're down to now 9. Is anybody nervous about it? Somehow I'm not. I'm not. But racial injustice and nation's growing housing crisis, and that was the quote. In other words, if Biden and the radical Democrats get their way, you can kiss your suburbs, your 4th of July, your barbecue, and you can kiss the American dream goodbye. You know that. And by the
Why would you have to kiss barbecue goodbye?
an election. Now, we are looking at the election, but more than looking at it. But you know what? There's not even an election. But if
They're looking at the election, but there isn't one. Okay, got it.
days ago, like Ohio or wherever we go, we have tens of thousands of people show up. That means you're damn unhappy and you're looking for hope. You're looking for hope. And you're
Wasn't it like 2,500 people?
going to destroy our country. The leftist Democrats truly seem to hate our country and really despise our way of life. And it's hard to believe that they can. You know, you think about it. We want good education. We want a strong military. We want borders. We want all the different things. We want to have income. We want so many basic things.
They want income.
It's so
Oh, okay.
easy. Space Force is wonderful. They didn't want to have Space Force. All of these things, it's so basic. You know, I actually call it the party of common sense. Somebody said, are you a very strong conservative? I said, you know, I guess so, but I'm really a person that believes in common sense. I don't want to have the open borders.
Right.
I don't want to have open borders.
This is a trope. We're not reactionary clowns. We're just about common sense.
All sorts of people. I don't want to have that. I want to have great education. I want to have a powerful military. I want to have powerful and wonderful law enforcement. They don't. They want to defund the police. And Joe Biden is perhaps the most unpatriotic president in American history in that sense. He canceled the 4th of July fireworks display at Mount Rushmore.
I am for canceling all fireworks. I think it's just absurd. I'm done with fireworks.
She came to me. Christine Holmes, she came to me, sir. For many, many years, we haven't been able to do fireworks at Mount Rushmore. I said, why? They say it's the environment, and they say it's dangerous. I say, really? Is there anything that's going to catch on fire? No, sir. I said, yeah, it's all stone, right? Stone. Stone's not going to burn. And I approved it 3 years ago. They had some of the most beautiful. There's almost nothing we can do in Sarasota to top it. If this fireworks company does anything close, I'll be very impressed, okay? But we had fireworks at Mount Rushmore that was so incredible. And it's all stone. It's stone. And it was wonderful. And then I saw the other day that they refused to allow it to happen again. I think they do it in spite. It's so ridiculous. It's so sad. The left wants to cancel the heroes on Mount Rushmore. They actually want to take Mount Rushmore. You've heard this. I mean, nobody's surprised. They want to take down the Jefferson Memorial. They probably don't want to take it down. They want to take the statue of Thomas Jefferson out and replace it with somebody. By the way, let me tell you, you're not going to be happy with the person they want to replace him with. Ladies and gentlemen, Thomas Jefferson is being removed from the Jefferson Memorial and being replaced with the Reverend Al Sharpton.
I mean, I wouldn't even. I don't even think many Democrats would want that.
No. Well, nobody would have a problem with that, right?
It's probably racist what he's saying, right?
I could name plenty that they want to replace him with, and not good. It's not good. Not acceptable. Not acceptable. We stopped that. That was going to, they were heading that way, and I signed the bill. If you touch it, you go to jail for 10 years. And everyone turned around and they went back home. Ladies and gentlemen, the Thomas Jefferson Memorial is now going to be replaced by Joe Biden. President Biden is going to replace.
Yes, Biden will put his own statue there. I'm sure that would happen.
And honestly, it was sad. It was sad. And I felt badly for him. I do, because I want what's good for the country. But this was a very sad situation, and Nancy was being...
Speaking of sad, we find these Trump events so sad that we've set up a coupon code SADTRUMP on my website, joinpacman.com. About 130 people have used it today. Feel free, and I will thank you. Sad Trump. This is so sad.
A lot of bad things were happening with that speech, and I said, that's really sad. And then I turned on MSDNC and CNN. I just wanted to see what they thought. And they go, this was one of the truly great speeches of our time. You know, FDR, a lot of people here might not like FDR, but he was a great, elegant speaker, right? The only thing you have to fear is fear itself. Right, remember how beautiful the words were, so beautiful. The voice was so beautiful. The brain actually worked well. It was a good brain. And one of them on CNN said, this very much compares to the late, great FDR. They said that. And that's why their credibility has gone down the tubes. They were comparing his speech.
This guy is really bored.
Which was sad. It was sad. They were comparing it to FDR. No, that doesn't work. But their credibility is at an all-time low. The media, the fake news media, is at an all... Did I have anything to do with that? I think so. I think it's one of my greatest achievements. I think one of my greatest achievements is explaining to people that the media in this country is corrupt.
It's actually one of his most dystopian, authoritarian achievements. Turning half the country against the institution of the media and a free press. It's actually pretty horrifying.
Camera just went off. 2 cameras just went off. They don't like it when I do that. I like to give them warning so they could just go to a commercial or something. Biden...
Nah, no one's willing to buy ads on this stuff.
6th Commission to honor America's founding. Within hours of taking office, almost immediately, great people were put on that commission, great, great patriots. He canceled the National Garden of American Heroes. It was going to the great state of Tennessee. And he announced 1 year ago tonight to celebrate. This was announced about a year ago. It was going to Tennessee. We were going to build beautiful, magnificent statues to the greatest people in the history of our country. He canceled it. Why? Why would you do that? It was going to Tennessee. The Biden White House publicly took the side of the Olympic athlete who denounced the national anthem and who shunned our great flag.
Whoa.
And in place of old-fashioned love of America, the Biden administration has new rules pushing hateful Marxist critical...
So what is the deal with this military guy? Like if he's in active service, he could be discharged for appearing in uniform at an event like this, or what? How does that all work?
Racism. It has no place in our schools, in our military, or in our country. When we take back Congress, Republicans must defund immediately.
People saying it's not an active service uniform. Okay, I wouldn't know that. That's interesting.
And refuse to pass any spending bill that does not stop these mine trainings and restore order to our borders. With Joe Biden and the radical left, it is always America last. It's America last. Look at what he's doing. It's America last. Other countries are laughing at us. They can't even believe it. While I was president, it was always America first, and our country was respected again. We withdrew from the horrible Iran nuclear deal. How about that beauty? $150 billion, $1.8 billion in cash. We wiped out ISIS and other radical Islamic terrorists. Biden has a lot to be thankful for, but Obama couldn't do it. Biden couldn't do it. We did it. We knocked out the entire caliphate in Syria, Iraq. We terminated al-Baghdadi and Soleimani. We fully rebuilt the United States military and completely restarted the NASA space program. All these ships you see, that's because of us. It was closed.
Ships? What on earth is he talking about? Like, what is he actually referring to right now?
Runway, NASA. I went down, I said, this is sad. We totally opened it up. Now everyone's bidding millions of dollars to go up to space. We created Space Force, and we took care of our vets.
Ships.
Like nobody has ever taken care of our vets. Getting a 92% approval rating the highest in history by many, many points.
Yeah. The truth is more of the military voted for Biden than typically do for Democrats. That's the truth.
Terry, what a job. We recognize Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. Recognized Israeli sovereignty over the Golan Heights. And we made historic peace deals in the Middle East. The Abraham Accords, and we brought our troops back home. They're back home. Most of them are back home.
Which one is that?
We also imposed historic sanctions on the evil communist regime in China and the brutal socialist regime in Venezuela. Perhaps most importantly of all, I stood up to communist China like nobody has ever before, imposing gigantic tariffs, saving our steel industry and other industries. If I didn't do that, we wouldn't even have a steel industry, through which they're now paying us billions and billions of dollars. And Obama wants to cancel it, but you notice they haven't done it yet. It's too much money. That's the one thing China didn't want, is tariffs. Biden is weak on China, just like he is weak on everything else except prosecuting Republicans. And now he has done nothing to hold China responsible for unleashing the virus upon us and the rest of the world. As you probably noticed, the Democrats and the media are now admitting that I was right about virtually everything all along, almost everything.
That is completely untrue.
The virus came from the Chinese lab. Remember when they said, horrible. When I said it came from Wuhan, the lab, they went, horrible. They went crazy. I said, what did I say? Common sense, right? Hydroxychloroquine works.
Untrue.
They cost lives. They cost lives. I should have done it differently. I said, you should not take under any circumstances hydroxychloroquine. And they would have said, horrible, you must take it. And I would have been happy. But I didn't do it. I should have done it with the wall, too. Instead of 2.5 years of litigation, we will not build a wall under any circumstances. The wall would have been built in 15 minutes. They like to go the opposite. Hunter Biden's laptop was real, right? Remember when he was asked a question on a very friendly news program, and is it real? I don't know. Oh, you don't know. If you don't know, that means it's real. Lafayette Square was not cleared for a photo op, right? They thought it was a photo.
Yeah,
that just came out. The Russian bounty, remember? The Russian bounty story was a total fake. It was made up by Shifty Schiff, remember? Russia was a hoax, paid for by the DNC and crooked Hillary Clinton. The Mueller witch hunt showed no collusion.
This guy's totally unengaged. He just leaned over. He said, Kathy, did I remember to pick up that itch cream?
Guilty. We produced vaccines before the end of 2020. Remember that? They said, oh, so many years, don't do it. We got them done. Blue state lockdowns did not work. We said, open up your states. It's up to the governors. We said, open up your states. Schools should be opened immediately, right? Immediately. Our border security actions were completely necessary, and Joe Biden's agenda is every bit as radical and disastrous as I predicted. I said all these things. Remember in the second debate when I talked about energy, and he said, no, he's against energy. I said, whoa. I felt like Perry Mason. That was the last question, right?
He's against
energy. That was
energy,
the last question. I felt just like, I said, did you hear that? Nobody could believe it. But you know what?
Well, because it didn't happen.
He's destroying the energy industry in this country. He actually, that was one of the things he told the truth on. I wonder what I will be proved right about next. Perhaps it will be the election, perhaps.
Crowd likes that, huh? So Blue Shirt's wife is clapping, but Blue Shirt still will not clap even at that. Military guy saluting again. Not sure if it's actually making me uncomfortable.
The evidence of fraud, irregularities, and illegality is already overwhelming, and frankly, it was a long time ago. Democrats used COVID to cheat. They illegally changed the rules in the key states and mailed out millions and millions and millions of absentee ballots all over the place. People went in to vote, Republicans.
Blue shirt guy's got to be thinking of how to get out of this.
Haven't. I waited for this day. I've been waiting for a year to vote. You voted. I'm sorry you voted. Here's an absentee ballot. They didn't use them. They didn't use them. They stole the votes. People walked in by the tens of thousands to vote. And these are solid, strong, great people. And they said, you've already voted. And three things happened. People would go crazy. People would get a little bit upset. Or people would just shrug their shoulders and just leave. They'd go.
Yeah, I'm sad. This isn't funny. I'm getting sort of like, you know, like shooter vibes from a lot of the people that are on screen behind Trump. And it's kind of freaking me out.
Mailed out ballot applications to every person on the rolls, dead or alive, legal or illegal, right? They mailed out these applications. They used hundreds of millions of dollars from left-wing billionaires to put on lawful drop boxes all over Democrat-run cities to scoop up ballots in swing states. Nobody's ever seen these drop boxes. They're called drop boxes. People coming in, nobody knows who the hell voted. And they came out 96% for Sleepy Joe Biden, right? 96. He got 96% in some of them. I got 4%. Actually, that's better than I thought, you know, because
Quite a cadence to this speech. Really goes sequentially from one piece to the next.
election. Take a look at New York. Watch what's happening there. But this is the most corrupt election. They sent ours is worse than what's happening in New York.
Will he say massive dumps here of ballots?
Operatives door to door in Democrat neighborhoods to harvest Democrat votes by the thousands. And like in Georgia, deleted over 100,000 voters off the voter rolls after the election. I said, why didn't you do it before the election? I lost a very close election. It wasn't close, actually. I won by a lot. But the loss they gave me was very close, like 11,000 votes. 100,000 votes were deleted after the election. What's going on with Georgia? Think of it. More than 100,000. And I just asked one simple question. Why didn't you do that, if you don't mind, before the election? Wouldn't that be nice? They abolished signature verification requirements, created a powerful system for media and online censorship of their opponents, and did everything possible to facilitate fraud, just like you would do.
A lot of people getting banned today, by the way.
That's what happened with this election. That's why there are so many people here tonight. If we lost the election, I still would have a good crowd, because we have a good, but you know what? I wouldn't have a crowd that goes beyond what the eye can see, that stays in a thunderstorm where they're going, ladies and gentlemen, there are massive rains. We're in the midst of a storm. There's lightning. Please, please go home. And nobody wants to go home. They didn't leave. Look at you. Some of the women are a mess. Now, actually, it's true. No, look at a woman. She's a mess. But the truth is, you look more beautiful now than you did when you went to the beauty parlor. So you can save a lot of money.
Oh, my God. Some of the women here are a mess.
Better. You just don't know it. You're real. You're real.
Did he say urea?
It's great. But think of it. Thunderstorms are coming. Please evacuate. Please leave. Nobody left. Nobody left. I'm glad to say you're all here because, you know, if you weren't, I would be blamed 100%. And why didn't Democrats get legislative approval mandated under the U.S. Constitution to change their election laws? They changed it without getting legislative approval. Information is coming out now in Arizona, Georgia, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, and except for weak Michigan state Republican senators, I mean, can you imagine Detroit? Detroit, they say, is the single most corrupt district area, Wayne County, in the whole country. You had people that refused to sign documents saying the election was over. They refused. 2 people, brave people. They refused. They said, we can't sign those documents. This thing is terrible. Detroit. Philadelphia. We have a U.S. attorney in Philadelphia that says he wasn't allowed to go and check Philadelphia.
Right.
That's a big statement. I'll tell you who didn't allow him someday. I'll do it at my next rally. But can you imagine this? Because, you know, we have a deep state, too, in this country.
Oh, yeah.
And a deep state, they work with the Democrats and the Republicans.
Fully
and those are the
conspiratorial now.
Republicans I don't like. In fact, those are Republicans that in many ways are worse than the Democrats, okay? They're worse.
Totally conspiratorial.
If Mitch McConnell had the courage and the guts, and if he was a real leader, he would have wanted to look into all the corruption that took place. He knew about it. During the presidential election, a lot of these people sitting over here, they looked into it and they said, that's real. And our country may very well have been in a much different position than it is today. I would have been vetoing every one of those bills that was sent.
Oh, people have spotted this woman here looks very bored as well. Yeah. I think the most bored people are blue shirt guy. And then probably this woman. Oh, she looks like she even is doing like the migraine headache type motion.
Okay. This is so far left of Bernie Sanders. He's going around saying, I can't believe this is the greatest thing that's ever happened. I told you. Instead, McConnell rushed in and approved of Biden, and he looked at this stuff. He said, we have to get back to running our country, really. And you had the 17 executive orders immediately signed, and then day after day after day, he was signing executive orders that were destroying our country. I would have vetoed every single legislative approval sent to my desk, and we wouldn't be having any problems at the border, with the economy, with the inflation. We wouldn't be having any problems. We would have a country the likes of which nobody has ever seen before. Very sad. Mitch McConnell.
Even the applause lines are they're losing steam now. Trump's got to wrap it. We're almost an hour and a half in.
And by the way, who shot Ashley Babbitt? Who shot Ashley Babbitt? Who?
He's trying to get. He's all about support the police, but he's trying to get a police officer doxxed now.
I spoke to her mother the other day, an incredible woman. She's just devastated, like it happened yesterday.
Oh, sorry. I was checking how long he'd been going. About an hour 20.
Strung up and hung. Okay? Now they don't want to give the name. They don't want to give, but people know the name. People know where he came from. And it's a terrible thing. Right shot. Boom. There was no reason for it. Who shot Ashley Babbitt? It's got to be released. And how come so many people are still in jail over January 6th when nobody paid a price for the fire and carnage and death that took place?
Because they couldn't bail themselves out?
Including Antifa and BLM. How come? How come? And why are our Republican leaders like McConnell afraid to take up the subject and talk about it? Disgrace to our country. We need strong leaders. We need leaders like people like this. With me at the top of the ticket, not a single Republican House member lost their race for the first time in decades. Not one. We were supposed to lose 25.
That's not true. Some Republicans did lose, right?
Think of it. Look at that swing.
Could that possibly be true?
56 phone calls. They're called town hall calls. They go to the district. I'd have 10, 15, 20,000 people. Every single call I made, the person won. I went to Kevin McCarthy. I said, Kevin, give me every congressman who's down, every congressman who's even, and every congressman who's up by a little. You know, can't call everybody. It turned out to be 56 calls. I made 56 calls. We didn't lose one seat. If I didn't make those calls, you would have lost 25 to 40 seats. And if I didn't come to the rescue of the United States Senate,
this
your
woman
numbers
looks
now,
genuinely
instead
miserable.
of 50-50, would be 60-40. And Mitch McConnell should never have lost those two seats.
Look at this guy. Look at this guy. And this woman, I'm trying to figure out who's more disgusted and bored.
All of those teletown halls. We received, and I received almost, think of this, they like to say, well, the local congressman or the local representative, state rep, He was more popular than Trump, but they don't say that. They say there's no way. But here's the number. It just came out. I received almost 1.5 million more votes than the Republican House candidates combined. Think of that. So in other words, I had a man come up to me, a real pro, older guy, said, sir, I was going to lose my election. I was going to lose by a lot. And then you got involved. It was a state known as Arizona. And I'm very proud of those Republican state representatives. These state Senate representatives, what they're doing. He said, I was going to lose my election. I was going to lose it big, sir. And then you came along and you did rallies and the level of, and I won my election by a landslide. But you were much more popular than me, sir. And you won by much less than I did. He said, the election was rigged, sir. There was no way that it was possible that I got more votes. I only won because of you. And they said, I got more votes. But look at that, 1.5 million more votes I got. And that's okay, that's not bragging. That's just to show you how corrupt this election was. We won Ohio in a landslide. We won Florida by the largest margin of any candidate in decades. And only once, many, many years ago, did a candidate...
I'm noticing military guy is clapping with his head rhythmically. It's sort of like... It's a very unusual motion.
2 big states. In Ohio, you're a Republican, you win. Except for me. Once in history. But one that was never, ever was if you win Florida, you win Ohio, and you win Iowa. I won all 3 by very large numbers. Nobody has ever lost an election if you won all 3. And I won all 3 by a lot.
What I'm hearing is it's particularly remarkable the creative ways in which Trump was able to lose.
And not stolen and rigged. You know what? We got them by surprise in 2016. And they worked for 4 years to make sure that never happens again. And they're not going to do it.
I'm watching this couple very closely. The guy is complaining and the wife is looking down at the watch every time. I think he's saying, like, we got to go. How much longer is this going to go on? The dynamic between these two is really, it's something.
And a lot of the people in the audience, I recognize so many. I love this state. We easily won the Cuban-American vote in Florida, including a mammoth increase in Miami-Dade County, something that doesn't happen with Republicans. We got a tremendous vote. 15% of Cuban-Americans who voted for crooked Hillary Clinton in 2016 switched their votes to us. Yet Joe Biden, who did not even campaign here, supposedly got millions more black votes than Barack Hussein Obama. Now let me ask you, does anybody really believe that Biden got more black votes than Obama?
Blacks for Trump clapping.
Especially in the swing states. Well, they really came out to vote in the swing states, really, I would say. So he got more votes than Barack Hussein Obama.
Blue shirt guy checking traffic on Google Maps now with his wife. How long is it going to be to get home from this shit?
It's divisive. He wasn't divisive. We have a truly sick election system, and it's got to be changed. Remember this. I am not the one trying to undermine American democracy. I am the one trying to save American democracy.
Right. I think this is the start of Trump's wrap-up.
And we can't let them take away our free speech so we can talk about corrupt elections. Otherwise, that's communism. That's what they do in these communist countries. You have no voice. Republicans across the country are uniting around a plan to secure every future election with photo ID, voter ID, universal signature verification, citizenship confirmation, chain of custody, integrity controls, update.
What's the name of that paradox where you keep going half the distance to like a wall? And if you just keep going half the distance, you'll never actually get there. It sort of feels like that way. Like we're definitely 50% in. We've definitely got another 50%. We're at Zeno's paradox. Exactly. That's what this is.
Look, and restoring the time-honored tradition of in-person voting on Election Day, not 30 days before and after.
Remember, Trump voted early by mail.
Conclusion, with the help of everyone here tonight and patriots nationwide, we will elect a Republican House. Going to do it. We have no choice. And a Republican Senate to do all of this and so much more. We're going to bring our country back with a Republican Congress. We will fight for more jobs for American families, fair trade for American workers, and more American factories forging more products stamped with that beautiful phrase, made in the USA. Made in the USA. Remember, we used to have that. We have it now. We're starting to get it back. And then Biden got elected. They're not using it anymore. We will hold China accountable.
You know, you don't need to use the phrase to do it.
And charge them $10 trillion at least in reparation. We will defend American sovereignty. We will secure America's borders.
People heading for the
and
hills.
We will
Here they
end
go.
illegal immigration.
And they're running. People are literally running out now.
Had it just about ended 6 months ago. We will break up big tech.
They do seem to be camera people. I'm joking. I mean, they seem to be, getting set up to film something.
Free speech in America again, which we don't have. We will protect innocent life. We will defend our Constitution. We will defend the Second Amendment, and we will proudly uphold the Judeo-Christian values and principles of our nation's founding. We will care for our veterans, continue to strengthen our military, and give our police officers, Border Patrol, ICE, and law enforcement our 100% support.
Right.
We will restore patriotic education to our schools.
These are the same things he promised before losing by 8 million votes.
Their country, honor our history, and to stand tall and strong for our great American flag. 245 years ago tomorrow, 56 brave patriots in Philadelphia proudly declared our independence and boldly proclaimed the eternal truth that we are all made equal by the almighty hand of our Creator. For 8 long years of the American Revolution, tens of thousands of ordinary citizens fought, bled, and died in an epic struggle against the most powerful military on the face of the earth. They were the most powerful. They were farmers who bravely stood their ground at Lexington Green and Concord Bridge. They were soldiers who marched barefoot through ice and snow to seize a pivotal victory in Trenton. And they were selfless patriots who did it all so that we, the people, would forever rule our great country.
It's truly pablum, right? I mean, it's completely uninspiring.
Is an entrenched interest that anyone can imagine. But no matter how big or how powerful they may seem, you must never forget, this nation does not belong to them.
Actually, not even. Pablum suggests there's something intellectual about it, and there's not.
Belongs to you.
It's like not even red meat, it's trash meat.
It's your history, it's your heritage, and our magnificent American liberty is your God-given right. You fought for it. The citizens of the United States of America will not be dictated to and talked down to by corrupt politicians, tyrants, left-wing bullies, or socialist bureaucrats in Washington, D.C. I know many of them. I don't like them much. Our forefathers are the people who gave us the world's most majestic and enduring Constitution. They are the men and women who crossed the Rockies in covered wagons and who faced unimaginable dangers to win the Wild West, and who tamed the wilderness, forged the steel, laid the railroads, dug out the canal, raised up the skyscrapers, and built America into the greatest nation in all of history, and we are not going to let it go.
Well, you lost.
Our ancestors just absolutely crushed fascism beneath the weight of American tanks. They toppled communism by the sheer strength of American culture. And now we will defeat woke radicalism by the sheer power of American pride. And it's happening. Americans settled the new world. We built the modern world. And from right here in Florida, we launched American astronauts to proudly salute our stars and stripes on that very beautiful
give me a break.
moon. There is no mountain we cannot climb. There is no summit we cannot reach. There is no enemy we cannot match. There is no challenge we cannot meet. There is nothing we cannot do.
Is he lifting this stuff from Biden's speeches? Because this is very Biden-like.
And our hearts bleed red, white, and blue. We will not bend. We will not break. We will not yield. We will never give in. We will never give up. We will never back down. We will never, ever surrender. My fellow Americans, our movement is far from over. In fact, our fight has only just begun. You know that. We are one movement, one people, one family, and one glorious nation under God. So with love of America swelling in our hearts and the spirit of July 4th, 1776 stirring in our souls, I say these words to you tonight. We will make our elections free and safe again. We will make America powerful again.
Seems like satire.
We will make America wealthy again.
When he's done, let's see if blue shirt guy even claps.
Make America strong again. We will make America proud again. We will make America safe again.
Man, this is so
And
lame.
we will make America great again. Thank you, Sarasota. Thank you, Florida. Enjoy the fireworks. Thank you, everybody. Thank you very much.
Blue shirt guy's not even clapping, is he?
Sun coming up.
Oh my God. Hard to imagine anything less inspiring than this nonsense. And the yeah.
One kid dreams of fame and fortune.
Whoa. The Trump one flag is like a bit much for me, really. Is he back? No, he's not. If people are heading out, make sure if you've been, thanks for being with us. If you are watching on Twitch, make sure to just give us a follow. You will just more easily see when we do streams in the future. Give us a little follow over on Twitch. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We are trying to get to 1.5 million subscribers sooner than later. I would love to get there. Why not, right? And of course, the coupon code SADTRUMP. If you want to revel in the just sad nature of what we're seeing tonight, you can use the code SADTRUMP on my website. Fran Balderrama just used that code and became new member 149 to sign up today. I'll thank a few other people. Paul Horn, and we lost the video there. Is Trump back? He's just standing there like an idiot. Okay. Venus Bloodflow is a new member. Caroline McMahon, Sandra King, so many great people. Kelly Bedsole, just folks I missed during the ranting, during the screed. Callan Dudash, Jeremy Lopez. Who else did I miss? Judy I got. Emily Arian, Bradley Bostic. I thanked Amanda Pancake, Stephen Smith, Sheila Owen, just all sorts of great folks. Really, really very much appreciate that. Coupon code good till midnight, Sad Trump. And we will see everybody back very, very soon. Let's see what's happening. The crowd heading for the hills. Mass exodus taking place. Dear God, what a depressing event. All right, anyway, good night, everybody. Follow, subscribe, tweet, drink water, all of that stuff. All right, we'll see everybody soon.